All right, guys, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining. I will join in with my video in just a second. It has been a long day here at my house. Lots of stuff with real kids and, real husband stuff, but I digress. No more jokes. We have somebody in the audience who is going to join us. I don't know. You guys are welcome to come and go as you please. We're just going to be listening to the live stream, and I'm going to be allowing people the opportunity to speak. I see a Miss Moxie here that I'm going to add to the stage. If you're there, Miss Moxie, could you just introduce yourself and let us know, kind of like your interest in this case, or like how you, know of Hannah, or if you had any involvement with her?
Yeah, I didn't ever follow her, but she was constantly popping up on my feed and on my timeline and in interactions. Occasionally, I would say generally, what she said, I was like, fine, whatever. But there were occasional times when she would say something that was so inconsiderate or so vile that that's what kept me from following her. And I turned out to be really glad that I never actually jumped on that train. However, it has been fascinating to follow everything along. And I come from a tough family situation with a lot of cluster B personality types, kind of like her. So it's been very educational for me to kind of follow what's been going on and identify psychopathic behavior, if that's not
Right.
too strong a word, kind of live. So it's been a very good
It's
learning experience.
I tend to say people throw that kind of language around a little too flippantly, but I would say in this case it's totally appropriate. Um, I myself, I to give the people who are listening a little bit of a background before we kind of like get into the meat of things, why I say I'm a little bit qualified at least. I've been in and out of treatment programs since I was in little kid. I was an adopted kid, and as a lot of people know at this point, that comes with, like a lot of attachment disorder stuff and whatever. So I grew up going to a lot of these programs with a lot of behavioral study girls, and I've seen all of the tricks, I've seen all of the manipulation, and she is just textbook when it comes to the pattern of her lying. And the funny part of like watching her try to like wiggle her way into another lie by like carefully, giving away certain truths. It's just so standard and so textbook. And I just, again, with having been around girls like that my entire life, and also like in a professional therapeutic setting where like I've been able to like witness them firsthand being called out for this behavior, um this like stuck out to me really particularly. And also just the involvement of children in this is a very different situation because a lot of families trusted her, a lot of mothers trusted her with pictures of their
Mhm.
kids, home addresses, personal information, just like really scary stuff, especially to find out that she has a family member who is actively been convicted of, inappropriate conduct with minors. uh,
Is that verified?
I do believe that is the mug shots are verified. So
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah.
the
Wow.
mug shots themselves are verified. I'm not going to say whether I do believe she also referenced in her apology, you don't have to worry, it has nothing to do with my brother Leo. So,
Oh, I didn't know who that was.
and that, I mean, that's who the stuff is about. Because a lot of people other than myself, but particularly when she started talking about how Tony isn't is another person, it's not her doing an alt, which I think we don't believe that Tony was an alt, or was anything but one of her alts. It wasn't like somebody else. um I'm sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. But anyway, we don't believe that Tony was the alt. But in the instance where Tony could have been somebody else, the concern there is, what if it's her brother? The concern there is like, what if it's
Mhm.
somebody else in her family who might be inclined to doing these things? Because it's not like it's her brother who is the only one with the criminal history, right? Like
Right?
this fraudster, she has a professional career criminal history of being a fraud. So it's just like it's a very strange situation. It's a very unfortunate situation, and I feel very, very strongly that everybody who's listening to this who may have had any involvement with them personally, any person who may have shared private personal information with her, I encourage you to file a police report. And I don't say this to be malicious. Typically, I leave internet drama on the internet, but this is a situation with like a serial identity thief and somebody who's apparently in a family of criminals. At the very least, there should be some kind of record that this is happening, particularly if even a third of what this other of this other information that has been brought to my attention is true. And I will say, again, I haven't verified this piece of information myself yet, but I do have an informant who has contacted me who has said that they have confirmed many other alts of Hannah's for underage kid, maybe not underage, but like adolescent girls with like eating disorders and like random shit like that. So
I don't think that's beyond the pale of reasonable at all. If this is an actual psychopathy, if this is a real illness and this woman doesn't sleep, there's no way she doesn't have a million alts.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, I don't know if you're familiar, if anybody who's listening is familiar with the show Catfish.
Oh, very.
But like so the person who like runs Catfish or whatever, they have so many different instances where they like discover somebody, or like there's multiple episodes where like this, it's like the same person, it wasn't a previous episode, right? Or they like get into it and like they start researching somebody and they find like a million alts. So like I said, I'm not proclaiming it as if it were to be a fact. But it does seem as if there's a bunch of other alts, and it seems as if maybe this one, after hundreds and hundreds of tries, possibly, I don't want to say hundreds and hundreds, maybe dozens, tens, 100, I don't know. I'm gonna assume dozens, and we'll start there. But assuming that any of these, you know, how long she's been running them, one of them just happened to take off. And then there's, you know, the whole, is she running it with other people? If she is running it with other people, what does
I don't buy that. I
really don't buy it either. I do think that that is a tactic of a compulsive liar to try to deflect and take responsibility off of herself. But what she's doing in that is implicating other people in a crime, and not only implicating other people in a crime, but she's like, it's not better that there's more people involved. You know what I mean? Like, if all the lies to construct in order to try to like manipulate your way into being someone worthy of sympathy, it's not just me you were sharing your home address and your cell phone and your children's faces with. It was a bunch of us. We were just around. Like, okay, if we have somebody else to add to the stage. Would you introduce yourself to us, please, my lovely lady?
Hey guys, what's up? What's good? Thanks for letting me join you. It is Keisha here from the Cares Project. I have my podcast there, and Kim told me to hop in, and I was like, well, you know what? Let's see what's going on. I've seen some of this online. I'm not too sure what it's on about, but I guess I'm gonna find out here. And I guess you guys aren't using your camera, which is pretty great because it's been a long day for me and I'm not looking too great right now. So.
I'll be so straightforward. I've never been on StreamYard before, and I thought I would just be listening. I didn't realize I was going to be on stage. So sorry.
I'm sorry. Well, thank you for joining. Thank you for hanging out with us anyway.
I'm happy to chat, but also I don't know the protocol or etiquette here. So.
No, I might turn my camera on. I might not. For now, I'm just chilling because it's been a long day. And the infant finally just went to sleep, thank goodness. But yeah, Keisha, what do you know about the situation so far? Like, have you been like following the drama at all?
Honestly, all I saw real briefly was that I think the Patriarchy Hannah was she was supposed to be a trad person online, but then someone was saying that she was having like an OF page on Twitter or something, and that her husband they were just not actual Christian or conservative or something. So I'm not actually too sure what's going on, but I've only seen briefly.
There are porn pages that are reportedly hers, and I haven't personally verified, but there are people who are already investigating this who I do trust, who have verified. And I think one was on like FetLife, and there was something else, but the husband doesn't exist. The husband's not real. If the husband was real, it was somebody that this woman dated earlier on who like died of a drug overdose.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
no kids.
What?
Yeah, no, just like, and if like I said, I've been getting tips from a bunch of different people, and I'm looking into crowdfunding for a private investigator. But
Oh my
it seems as
gosh.
though her brother was convicted for sexual misconduct with a minor, like showing
Oh my
inappropriate
God.
pornography to underage kids. And she herself has a long criminal history of
What?
identity fraud.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So yeah, we have here, I'm going to show this right here. She creates alts and made them to sorry, we have a dog escaping here. She creates alts and made them interact with each other as though they were friends. She also has mentioned being locked out of accounts, so it's safe to say she has safe to assume she is quite a lot. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she
Wow.
has alts on alts on alts.
Wow.
It's a really crazy situation, and honestly, I'm going to be documenting and filming my own investigation as far as this goes, because I don't know, like I don't want to sound holier than thou, but like this story just like I feel like every time I think about it, it just like something is itching in the back of my brain the same way it did when I found out there was a pedophile in the Proud Boys and exposed that. So like I just like I can't, like, especially like with the know-how I have and with the connections I have through investigative journalism, like there's just something about this that just doesn't, like, beyond all the stuff that's already come forward, and there's been so much hard work done by so many different people. I just feel as though this isn't, there's more to this, and it perhaps is a lot darker than we all realize.
I'm kind of wondering why, like, what, like, I'm kind of wondering, like, why do you think someone like her would be doing this? Like, she's a convicted, she's, no, her brother's a convicted child predator. And, like, why do you think she's out here trying to be like a trad, like fraud or whatever? Like, if all of this is true, like that, the evidence that's coming out, like, what do you think her incentive is for doing it? Like, that's actually kind of messed up. But like all the time
Honestly,
that you would put towards doing that, it's like, how could you even have the time for that?
I honestly can't tell you like a true motive, but I'm telling, this is a deep psychological problem that she's been probably dealing with her entire life. I would not be surprised if she's been in and out of programs her entire life, or if she's been in some capacity in legal trouble throughout her entire life.
Yeah,
This is
I would
wild.
second that. I think she's really sick, and I think it comes from a really,
Will
really
have
deep
to be.
wound. And that is sad. I think that's a part that trips people up. It is possible to be to ache for someone else's pain without accepting their behavior as okay because of their pain.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's a mistake that a lot of people are
Can you
making.
repeat that? Could you give me
Yeah,
an example of that? Sorry.
yes.
Like what you're saying?
So if you're a true crime girly, for example, and you follow a lot of different criminals, they often come from battered situations, homes, that were abusive. That does not give them the license to kill people, for example. So it's possible to feel someone's pain and empathize without saying, okay, so I think it's fine that you did what you did. And that's something that's starting to become a problem with this
Oh,
patriarchy Hannah
okay.
situation. Is there are a lot of people who are they're so deeply in love with Christ. They have such hearts for forgiveness and repentance, but there's a misunderstanding about what
Like
it means.
removing consequences, kind of.
Well, exactly. So it's possible to believe that Jennifer is deeply, deeply wounded without saying, and therefore it's okay that you did what you did, or I'm going to take it easy on you. We can hold her
Or
accountable.
taking away her agency as a predator in the situation
Right.
due to
Yeah,
her
her
past.
capacity. Yeah.
Right. There's
Yeah.
always a turning point where the person
Yep.
takes the wounds of their past and begins to inflict them on other people. And that is a free will decision, even
Yeah.
if it's impacted by stuff they couldn't control. That doesn't make a difference. So just to be so clear to
Yep.
anyone listening, I am not implying that Hannah is a serial killer. I was just drawing a kind of parallel from true crime where we see that happen in a lot of these people's pasts.
I will,
So
Well,
yes.
yeah. It's like you still, it's like if she was a kid, I would understand if she was acting out as a kid because of being abused. But if you're an adult, you really like it like things change at that point because
right.
you have a certain responsibility to to do things a certain way. And even as you're growing up, you're going to start realizing like, okay, like, something's not working. So it's like that level of stuff is very strange to me. I think it's very weird. I'm kind of wondering then, like, if she was, if all what you're saying is true, because I haven't looked into it, and I know that I also do reporting, but I do need to look at the evidence, so it's fine. But I'm saying, like, if she's doing this, how many other pages are being paid on X or other platforms to do stuff like this, and for what? Like what? Like why? Like
I don't
what
think
is
she's
their
being paid.
goal?
I mean, well, she was monetized in that sense. She had like a monetized page, and
No,
she
but for someone to But you have to think about the fact that someone going around doing this with this level of time, you need to be able to to afford to live. A lot you have to think about how is somebody affording to do things like
Girl,
this.
she could be living
Uh,
with family. She could be living on government assistance. Like, there's a lot of
Okay,
different
yeah,
ways to.
that's a
She could be.
potential too.
She probably, honestly, like maybe she has disability. I would be shocked if she didn't have some kind of disability
That's
payments
that's
that
a
were coming in.
that's that's reasonable.
I think
That's
it's been
reasonable.
verified that she lives with her parents, if I'm not
Okay.
Okay.
mistaken.
Okay.
Okay,
So yeah,
wow.
I didn't
Wow,
know
that's
that.
crazy.
I trust Peach as a source that I would.
Yeah, that's my understanding. I did not do that research myself, so take it with a grain of salt till it's verified. But
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
I
But yeah,
just want
like
to understand, like you said, you think that there could be like a more nefarious thing behind it going on, and I think that if what's all verified is true, then that could be a very real possibility because there needs to be a reason for,
but
this kind of
here's the
behavior.
thing.
Like,
The thing too about the forgiveness, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I definitely want to make this point before we go ahead and start listening to this. Um, it's not just a matter like forgiveness is fine and dandy, but like in this kind of situation with this kind of person, person with the kind of personality I believe to be in the works behind this Jennifer person, the forgiveness and all of the online like sympathy and stuff like that only enables and reinforces whatever psychopathy is like encouraged her to do this in the first place. um it's
yeah,
just
because
like,
there's no
oh well, like look at all the
consequences.
people forgiving me, it's not so bad, it's not so bad.
not because there's no consequences necessarily, but because exactly what feeds into this problem is the attention.
Yes.
And while it's not wrong to forgive her, you can forgive and hold someone accountable at the same time, right? The way that you may forgive your child for breaking a window, but still make them pay to repair it.
Well,
Um,
yeah,
I think people are missing that piece. And in order to show and demonstrate Christ's love, they say, come back. We want to welcome you back as you. And that would be fine if this didn't seem to be like a deep psychological problem. Um,
well, and that's why I said like that is a consequence because like you can actually give attention to the situation and acknowledge that yeah, you can forgive, but still also distribute consequences for what was done because that's something that needs to be rectified. And until people actually don't learn unless they get consequences. Like
Right.
you tell someone don't a kid don't touch the hot stove unless they might touch it and the consequence is getting burned and then now they have to deal with it, they have to fix it, now they have to go through the process of having to heal their hand. So it's like there still needs to be something that makes an understanding to her and the viewers, like if you do this behavior there's going to be a consequence and you're not going to get away with it even if people feel like they need to forgive, because God in his love, he allows us to experience consequences for our actions so that we actually do not continue those behaviors. It's actually hating somebody to actually allow them to do wrong things and not let them get consequences. The Bible says if you love them, you chastise them. That's
Right.
what
And
God
that's my
does.
concern with this group chat that happened last night. There's a lot of things that I have opinions about, and obviously Kim's going to lead here, but I do think that that was something that we saw is there was this attitude of not needing to be held accountable that
Yeah,
the
that's
hosts were
crazy.
enabling.
Okay, so yeah, I do want to get into the thing. It's quite long, as we can see. So and I think I'm gonna try to skip ahead a little bit past the music and all that stuff, but I want to kind of still want to jump in from the beginning. Um, and again, I want to. If you guys, when you guys want to comment, if I haven't paused at a point that you want to pause at, just like send something into the private chat really quick, and I'll make sure I'm keeping an eye out on it. But I just figure we'll play a couple minutes and then we can kind of just like have the conversation open. And like I said, to anybody listening, you could go to my Twitter, Culture. And the link to join the StreamYard is there. Everybody is welcome, but I reserve the right to kick you out if you're an obnoxious prick. It is the First Amendment in America, but out here in open waters, I am the captain and I decide if you're being annoying. So just bear that in mind, but feel free to join if you want to be a part of the discussion. Either side of the conversation is welcome. And share this out to everybody. I want to figure out where people are at. I want to talk to people who've talked to her. I want to talk to people who have had their lives affected by this. And generally, I just think that it's important to have this kind of conversation for my investigation. So I appreciate everybody participating. And does anybody want to make a statement before I hit play and we just kind of start going over it?
I will say that I will stay and listen to some of it, but I won't be able to listen to everything because I do have I'm going to CPAC, so I do got an early morning.
Oh boy.
But I will I'll stay for some of it for sure.
Okay, awesome. Well, good luck at CPAC tomorrow, and say hi to everybody for me. And enjoy yourself. If you gotta leave, whenever you gotta leave is fine.
Sounds
but
good.
yeah, obviously stay, and we'll love having you in the conversation. Okay.
On here.
Yeah, they some fucking weird ass music in the beginning for whatever reason.
Weird fucking timeline, guys.
You could kind of talk over them.
Somebody
too, by
had
the
to
way.
do it.
I'm not opposed to that. Anybody if they want to chime in, if we start getting into enough of a conversation, I'll hit pause. Let's skip ahead.
Especially when you start making fun of women. So
oh, okay. I hear voices.
Right, just gonna be glad about that. The way that the Patriarchy Hannah, the whole account started as just it was a friend of mine and it was sort of like a joke, a creative writing process, project kind of thing. We
oh my god,
added together parts of my life, parts of her life, put it together, and it kind of just snowballed. And it wasn't in my intention people are really upset about it. And I am remorseful of that.
I'm sorry. Does anyone else to detect zero remorse?
So I had a few takeaways from, I listened for exactly 10 minutes. And I felt like I was disrespecting Jennifer as well as all of her victims and the three morons running this. Sorry, I did not appreciate their hosting.
No, it's
for
okay.
a lot
You're
of
allowed to call them morons.
for a lot of reasons. But it felt overall very disrespectful and then and very exhibitionist. And then on top of that, with people talking about her like she wasn't there. Kim, have you listened to this yet?
No, I'm coming in brand new.
Buckle up. But the other thing was it was just so, it felt calculated and cold. She doesn't sound remorseful. And then when she does cry, it's always in moments where it's because she's on the line. Her reputation is at stake. Her hobby doing this is at stake. It's not genuine.
Yeah. Well, also, I saw somebody try to make the point well, look, even the Groypers think she's genuine. Doesn't that tell you something? Even they have a heart for her. And it was oh, you mean this merry little band of sociopaths have glommed onto her and feel and want to help perpetuate the lie because they liked the messaging? Oh, yeah, let's see some real insight behind that, guys.
And that's part of what made them such douchebags is they're obviously and transparently using her. And she has no clue. She doesn't get it.
No, it's definitely manipulation, and they don't want to. It's partially they, in order to avoid embarrassment themselves for having fallen for the thirst trap, they are just nah, she's just one of the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. You're actually saying, so you're saying because they actually were behind her saying that she was the epitome of being a trad wife. and it turned out that she was actually like doing some really messed up stuff. They're trying to just cover
that
themselves
degenerate.
instead of giving her accountability, because now they don't want to seem like they are actually a bunch of hurt men acting out of emotion that
Yeah.
can't read circumstances, but rather they're actually have good foresight or insight. That's really funny. That's really funny.
And that's really what's going on. I mean, I'm no professional, but I'm not an idiot, and I've been around these kind of people for my entire life, and I can read it. I can read it like a book. All right, I'm gonna keep going.
Let me try.
You're all right. You're all right. Hey, you're all right. You're with Paul and Dalton, good old friends. Like this is a
I know, but
safe
this is
space,
normally
so
when
to
you
speak.
start making fun of women. So like, let me not cry too much.
Yeah, I don't know if I mean, we have to make a joke, Paul. I mean, this is a reunion, dude, right?
It's
Cry me a
No.
river, fatty. No.
Right.
Holy shit!
This is what I'm talking about.
And I will.
She knows it's with love.
And I will say,
Oh, it's with
if
love.
this is what it took to get an NHB reunion, I'll say it's worth it.
So this is all
But-
fake.
Oh my gosh.
You're a baby wanting an NHB reunion.
You know, she was pretending to be Patriarchy Hannah for, X amount of time. I mean, who knows how long? Just thinking, maybe Paul and Dalton will do a show one day. I need this to happen, so, she can
Yeah,
come on.
yeah.
It worked out.
That's all it was.
Wait, who's that
Oh,
even
it's so
talking
funny.
right now?
Oh my god, it's so
It
funny.
kind of like snowballed. It got big. The relationships that I formed were real.
So that female voice is Jennifer, who is also known as Patriarchy Hannah.
I mean, the guy. Do we know who the guy is?
Behind the scenes, and Dalton too.
Oh, okay. So the one thing I will say, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting really quickly, but you guys can't see the live stream because I'm playing it from a recording. I'm not trying to give them the engagement. I am that level of petty right now. But the one thing that does deprive the audience of is the seeing that she joined from a freaking alt. This girl who's like, I don't have any alts, joined this big chat to like defend her honor from her alt. Anyway.
That's really funny.
So just for the audience who maybe wasn't tuned in when this was going on, you had asked who were the guys talking. There were three main guys who were kind of leading it last night, and Kim, you're gonna have to help me on their usernames. I know one was Dalton and one was Beard something.
Oh, was it Beardson?
That's it, yeah. And then the other one was Paul something, I think.
Honestly, like I said, I haven't listened to it. This is me listening to it, so I'm gonna have to go back and look at their things on the actual live stream.
The reason that matters is because they're all pretty high engagement accounts, given how isolating and radical their opinions are. And so part of the argument when people started saying, why are you guys hosting this conversation? Part of the argument was because they could get the views. So
oh my God. I have an experience with Beardson and his little army of raiders before. I was hosting a gun show live stream, and I dared to host Baked Alaska and Ashton Birdie on the same live stream at different times, and apparently that means I'm a horrible friend, and Beardson sent people to like raid my live stream, and it was a whole thing. But it's good to see that he's still on the winning team here. Good Lord. Anyway.
Yeah, this is crazy because it seems like at this point, everyone, instead of saying that they made a mistake, they're trying to absolve themselves of responsibility or accountability and like gaslight people, which is crazy. Now, on the flip side, if we're being like the devil's advocate here, and I'm not saying I agree with this, but if we're being the devil's advocate and this lady, Patriarchy Hannah said that she's done this as a kind of side thing with her friend, just kind of like a journal kind of thing. I don't remember the word she used. In technicality, I mean, if she's running a fake account like that, it's wrong. I fully agree it's wrong, but people run fake accounts like that all the time for the purpose of because I can.
What you're missing, Keisha, is like people like gave her their like personal information. They're like she's like sent things to people in the mail. She had people's like personal contact information.
Okay,
Like,
so you're saying
all
that she didn't actually just use it as a journal kind of thing. She
no,
was
it
actually
wasn't. It
using it
wasn't like it
as
was just some lonely girl. She was like openly preying on people's and like I know of a girl. I'm not gonna say her name. If you guys are paying attention to the story, you've seen the tweets. But one girl,
yeah.
a few people literally have just sent her baby gifts for infants that don't even fucking exist. Excuse my
Oh
French, but
wow.
like,
Right. So that's the
Oh
problem. Besides
wow.
emotional
Okay.
manipulation, I don't think anyone has a problem with the existence of alt. Everybody I know has an alt. Most
Yeah.
people have multiple. I'm on an alt right now. This is intentionally anonymous because of some family stuff, and I think that can be fine. But when you pretend to be someone else and then further take their personal information when they believe you are someone you're not, and accept money, gifts, etc., for false purposes, that's
Yeah, that's
actually a
crazy.
crime. That is illegal.
That's crazy.
It's
That's
100%
actually crazy.
illegal. It's 100% predatory. It is, and like I said, her brother is known to have has a record for sexual
Yeah,
misconduct
the
minors, and she has
against minors, yeah.
she has pictures of people's children, their like home addresses, their phone numbers, like ways to find ways of very
Okay,
experienced.
now I see what you're saying. Now I see what you're outlining. Okay, I thought that because I don't know anything about this woman. This is my first time hearing any of this. So, like, I thought that what she was saying, just from what I just heard, was that it was pretty much just like some alt trash account that they just said whatever they wanted. But actually, you're saying she
No.
also has a brother who's a convicted predator, and she's getting people's personal information and having people send child gift. Yeah, yeah, you're right. This is messed up. This is really messed up.
And at the very least, people should be filing police reports because the authorities should be alerted to the fact that somebody who has a long-standing history of criminal level fraud and identity theft is on the internet making God knows how many profiles where they're interacting with God knows how many people, receiving personal information, receiving money, receiving phone numbers, receiving addresses, receiving pictures.
Oh,
You know,
that is sick. Oh, that is very
and on
sick.
top of
That is
that,
very sick.
if we're going to buy the story of how many other people are running it, who else is running it? How many other people have had access to this information and what are they doing with it?
Wow. Wow. And this is why I said to you earlier, is there like is there money somewhere for somebody? Because what you're describing right now
Yeah, there's been
is
money
actually
exchanged in multiple different
I'm
occasions.
talking about like different, I'm not talking about just the money that other people are giving them. Like what you're describing right now
Mhm.
sounds like an operation. And like like it's
Look,
actually stressing me out as you're describing, like outlining
right.
these things, because you don't do this without, this is why I'm saying like there has to be money somewhere else as well, because you don't do all of these things and there's, like you said, multiple people running the account. Like
Yeah,
I just
this is the reason why I want to. I'm talking to multiple people who said that they're willing to connect me to private investigators, and I fully intend to crowdfund for their retainers, and I fully intend to hire them and at least help people get reports made so that their identities and their stuff can be protected, so that there's some sort of record in case there is some sort of malicious intent or malicious plan.
honestly, if there is if those people have would like to make reports, I think my dad actually, he's trying to join the stream right now
Yes, okay.
to talk about this as well.
Oh, I see a
If they
lot of
want
people
help,
trying to join. I'm so sorry. I didn't notice there
if
was a whole second tier to this. I'm adding
if they
everybody.
want if they want to file like reports and get help with that and they have the evidence like to prove what's going on, I'm sure my dad and I, like, we would
A
be able
lot
to
of
help
us are
them with that.
collecting evidence now. I have a lot of people sending me DMs. I have a lot of people who have already been working on this that I'm talking to and making sure we all share information with each other. Dale is in and Bryce is in. You guys feel free to introduce yourselves, and then we're gonna play a little bit more of the clip when we're done introducing everybody.
Oh, there goes my mic. I finally opened it. Hey Kim, how's it going?
Going good.
Yeah, I'm Dale Richardson. I'm Keisha's dad. We do the Carers Project podcast, and yeah, I mean, know you and decided to come in. And hello to everybody else. I guess Miss Moxie. I mean, the other guy just dropped off. But yeah,
Join us again. We'll get everybody to again. If anybody who's listening, you can go to my Twitter at Coulter Culture. There is a link to join the StreamYard. I hold the right to boot you if you're being a jerk, but just feel free to join the conversation. I'm definitely open to participation, and we will continue to read chats as they come in. So stay tuned, and we're going to keep going. But yeah, Dale, thank you so much for joining us. And Bryce, you came back. Welcome to the chat. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your involvement and just kind of like what's going on with you as far as this situation is concerned?
Oh, am I on?
Yeah, you're on. It's kind of hard to hear you. So if you do have a way to, it's just it's a little soft, but it could still come through at least.
I've never
There
been
you go.
accused of being a soft speaker, that's for sure. I probably just had to get a little closer on the phone. Sorry, I'm in the middle of fixing dinner out here in LA. I'm just I'd like to speak to you on the side eventually, but I'm a documentary filmmaker. I've done stuff with like Jimmy Buffett, After Porn Ends, social media people before, and I think we have a mutual friend in Ryan, who's
Terrific. Yeah.
everybody's favorite sandwich maker and internet sleuth.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much if that's okay, but I would like to stay
Totally.
in touch if that's all right. I really think it's fascinating. I love your passion about this. I think it's awesome.
Thank you.
And everybody here involved is great.
Yeah, terrific. Yeah, definitely stay in touch. Feel free to reach out to me over my DMs, and we'll be in touch for sure. All right.
You guys are all awesome. I love everybody's passion about this. You're doing the right thing. Love it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Much appreciated. If you ever want to come on our show and talk about anything, you can also hit us up on the Cares Project. We're on X and pretty much Rumble, everything else as well.
All right. I'm gonna add Tiffany to the stage.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, if you want to stay and talk with us about the thing, you're welcome to do it. But if you also just want to listen, that's totally up to you as well. I just invite you to do whatever you feel comfortable with. All right, Tiffany, I'm adding you to the stage. Welcome. What's your involvement? What's your interest? Are you here to just like commentate, or did you have some sort of personal involvement? Tiffany? All right, I'm just going to go ahead and keep playing this for now. And we'll continue to share our thoughts and talk about it. All right, let me go ahead and click play.
That like this is the real me. Like I do have children that I take care of. I've never birthed any children. I do have a longtime partner. I don't live with my parents. You know, I'm very hesitant to say a lot of these things because I don't want people to start digging deeper. Sure. You know, into like my, you know, how this could affect like my family life, whatever. My friend adopts out of foster care. She's the one, the black kid. Like by the time that things started getting big, the character was made. And I stuck with it. And it was fucked up. Like I'm not excusing it. People think that I'm like trying to push a buck or whatever. I'm just being honest that at like one point there were like 3 or 4 of us making the post. It was pretty much me in the spaces. And, you know, it just got out of hand. I never meant to hurt anyone.
Right. Well, so is
Wait, was she crying just then or laughing?
That is purported to be.
I mean,
honestly,
I don't.
Is that real?
It could be either.
Okay, so that is an account that is ran by a man in my life. His first name is not Tony, but like, and that's all I'm comfortable saying about it. But like that, I didn't run that account.
Okay, but is that your significant?
Wait, what?
Yes.
Okay.
So assuming there is actually a significant other and assuming that
She also runs the account.
Why would they be comfortable masquerading as like some like dead junkie? I don't know. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep playing.
And so, you know,
yeah, no, go ahead.
No, it's just really weird because it's like if like that's the man in your life, but you also run his account while you guys also run like 4 people also run like the Patriarchy Hannah account. Like it's just very strange. Like why would you need to why would you that's strange.
Well, somebody, I think I heard somebody else trying to chime in. I wanted to make sure I gave someone space to talk before I hit play again. Is that no? Okay, I'm just gonna hit play.
One of the reasons I thought like it wasn't a lie with the kids, because you said that you adopted kids, and then you said you adopted black kids, and I was like, well, if that, like, why would somebody make that up? So you haven't adopted black kids, you've adopted white.
Yeah, I haven't actually like officially adopted any children. My partner has children that I take care of. We have them most of the time. And so my friend who was running the account with me, she has adopted black children. So that was said. And I just had to go with it because that was the character.
I actually don't believe that she has children she takes care of. And the reason for that is no one's ever heard kids in the background. And if she just said she takes care of them most of the time, 90% of the time, there's just no way. I think most people in this chat have kids. We know that doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't buy. I like all of my like lie censored like radar things, whatever you want to call them, are going off listening to this.
Well, but what about what about the girl that she said was the one who wrote the post about having kids, but she does actually have kids? There's 4 different people running the account, so
I don't buy it.
I don't think she has that many friends, which is why she spends this much time trying to curate an online community.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying that there actually isn't that much people running the account. She's just running both of these accounts. And okay.
Yes.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it's actually kind of disturbing when I looked at some of, I guess, the person that was supposed to be her significant other. The text on there did not seem like it came from a man. It just didn't.
Yeah, I did see his page, I think, as well, and it didn't come across to me like a dude.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I just added somebody else to the stage. Feel free to introduce yourself. Let us know what your involvement in the situation is, or we can keep playing. If you don't start talking, I'm just going to assume we're going to keep going.
Is that Lou?
I think so.
Hey, it's Lou. I'm just making BLTs for my family, but I'm here.
Okay, no problem. I'll go ahead and keep playing, and you can chime in whenever you're ready. That same goes for anybody. Again, you can find the link at Culture on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, in the long thread.
Well, let's clear some things up. So what does the fallout look like for you? Because you had the Discord, right? You had the Patriarchy Discord, right?
Right. So I shut the Discord down and maybe didn't do I don't know, maybe didn't handle that well. That when the girls who ran the Discord with me first came to me, sent me the link of the docs and everything, I was literally at the doctor with a needle in my arm. I sent them a picture of a needle in my arm. And it was like, I can't talk to you about this. I'm at the doctor. And they were like, show me your face right now. And so I literally got so frustrated. I just said okay, you know what? Fuck off. I'm at the fucking doctor. And so that's how that happened. Then by the time I got home, it had pretty much all blown up. So I am sorry for lying to people. I'm sorry for committing this fraudulent thing. People keep accusing me of I never took anything from anyone. People sent me, I got 5 baby gifts that were for a real baby. And I got a chocolate bar.
What an appropriate time for you to join. So welcome to the chat. Do you want to just say a little introduction before we continue on and maybe speak on the baby gifts a little bit?
Are you talking to me, Kim? Sorry.
No. I definitely if that's Emily talking, yeah.
Yes, that's me.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I did send her a baby gift.
So yeah, do you want to just give a little intro and just let people know a little bit about that more, because I'm sure there are people here who don't know all about that.
Yeah, so my name's Emily. I am on a much less conservative side of Twitter in general. But Hannah and I met about 3 years ago, and became actually pretty fast friends in DMs, and actually mostly moved to like an offline friendship where we would text and talk on the phone pretty regularly. She and I talked on the phone for probably an hour, like 2 weeks ago, just kind of like catching up and checking in. And I was following along with her, with, her saying that she was about to adopt a baby, but she wasn't talking about that on main. Like she was only talking about it privately with people. And then she eventually texted me and said that it had gone through and that she had gotten the baby. And so I asked her if I could get an address to send her a gift for the baby. And I did.
And I mean, I don't want to harp on it too much, and I definitely like only talk about it as much as you feel comfortable talking about it, obviously. But having been somebody who really had developed a friendship with this person, I just want to know, like, what has this last couple days been like for you? Like, what has it been like to kind of like have to confront this in somebody you thought you knew really well?
I mean, extremely jarring, just because it's funny because I feel like folks who hear this story for the first time, they're like, oh, this sounds so implausible. Like, how could she have had 14 kids? How could she have, whatever? But when I say that her narrative of her life and story was incredibly cohesive and detailed, like, it was extremely detailed. Like people would say things like, well, how did she have time to be on Twitter all the time if she had that many kids? And I'm like, well, because according to her, right? I mean, I don't think, obviously, none of this is true, but like the vast majority of the kids were teenagers and young adults, which
Right.
makes a huge difference,
Oh,
in what you're able to do. So honestly, I'm still trying to figure out how on earth she was able to just create an entire world that had a story that, while it was out of the ordinary, all of the details lined up and made sense.
right. And I mean, from what I'm getting told from other people sending me messages, it seems as though there could be as many as like dozens, if not more, alt profiles that are directly run by her, and a lot of them are of like young girls who like pose as having eating disorders and stuff like that, and like it's just it's pretty disturbing, and it speaks to like the deeply psychological, like the deep psychological damage that must have taken place in order for somebody to like form the habitual need to like create these alternate personas.
I guess so, but like it is just, I mean, I have hundreds of DMs with her, and like I've sent screenshots of them to people, and everyone I've sent them to has been like, why do I completely believe her? Like everything she says seems completely genuine. And this is coming from someone who disagreed with her on basically everything.
Right.
But even though I did, like she was always like, she was sarcastic, she was funny, she was like, I did not pick up on any kind of like sociopathic or anything like that kind of behavior. And I've met people who have also had convincing stories, but who seemed a little bit off.
Right.
And she just didn't. Like, I don't know what else to say besides like she seemed completely normal and very, very authentic.
I think that's another sad piece of this too. There's so many sad layers to this, but one of them is that there's a sort of genius there, right? This ability to create a world, a universe,
She's
believable
brilliant. She
characters.
has to be.
That's really a beautiful gift. And to use it like this is just, it's so sad. And Emily, I'm sorry that she toyed with you this way. I know people are probably kind of downplaying it because it's an online relationship, but I think it's unfair that happened to you. And I hope someone has said that to you.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you on that, and I want to just like further say that like we're definitely in a day and age where like internet friendships like very often become like real life friendships, and like I've made so many friends, and so I've met so many people just through like the existence of the internet, I mean, Keisha's here, like, you know, like why the hell do I know her? That's because like we have this like brilliant online community, and it's so hard and it's so heartbreaking when somebody lies and like breaks that level of like community that it has formed where we can make these connections, because it definitely puts up a wall. So I am really sorry for that, Emily.
Thank you. Yeah, Hannah actually was supposed to. We were supposed to get together in October. Um, I was gonna be in Louisiana for the Eras tour, and she was actually supposed to pick me up from the airport. And then the day before, ended up saying that like there had been an emergency and she couldn't. But like that was the plan. Like we've been planning it for months.
It's classic catfish. It's textbook.
That is textbook. That is entirely textbook.
I'm not saying you should have known that, Emily. It's just in retrospect, looking at it, it's just crazy.
Yeah, hindsight is definitely 2020, but like it was one of those, like, I almost knew the end of the story before the story was even finished. You know what I mean? Just like this kind of behavior is so like it's incredibly common, but it's so hard to detect. Like you said, I'm sure if I saw more of the messages, I would probably have the same reaction, that like it seems very genuine. But I think I told you as well, and I know I've shared it in comments, people like this are incredibly good at appealing to a sense of sympathy and a sense of relatability, and they kind of like key in with the person that they're talking to with the things that they think are going to resonate most with them, and they kind of like lean on that really heavily. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I guess that is what she did with me, because, like she knew that I was getting divorced, for example, before a lot of people did. And she was incredibly kind and supportive and there for me during it. Which, I guess if you saw her public persona, maybe you wouldn't think she would be.
No,
but she was.
Yeah. Honestly, even like, I very vocally have like spoken out against certain divorce topics as well. But like, if a friend were to be going through a divorce, of course I would not be like, shame. Like,
sure.
There's so many different nuances for divorce. Like there isn't a one size fits all conversation that goes for that. So I'm definitely not that naive. But like I said, I do believe that somebody who outwardly would be like, hey, what that is believable, that is trackable.
Oh yeah, like it's the wildest thing I've ever experienced, in terms of like I just would not have viewed myself as someone who could be like super easily fooled. Like, and even when everything initially came out, like when I first read the thread, I texted her immediately and was like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, what's going on?" And she immediately was like, "No, I'm not okay." And she was like, "I promise you that none of it's true, but like I'll explain later." And like I completely believed her.
Yeah, I mean, I saw, I mean, like a good friend, you came to her defense, and I'm sorry, that's the kind of thing that people took advantage of when everything came out, because I do know what it's like to try to genuinely stand up for somebody who ultimately ends up being in the wrong, and I know that really like that is definitely like a different level of betrayal on top of that, because it's like, wow, like you stuck your neck out for her, you know what I mean?
Yep. Well, I mean, for me, it comes down to, so far, she had never given me any reason to not believe her.
Right.
But then once I figured out that she had directly lied to me, like once I really pieced that together, I was like, oh, well, there that goes, So,
I think this kind of speaks to a greater point, like why more people should not believe words, but they should believe actions and try things against evidence more often than not, because there is, a lot of ways to determine these things. And yeah, some people are very brilliant and, very exceptional liars. It's like a lot of patterns repeat with people like these scenarios, and there are ways to get to the bottom of things in some capacity. Like, for example, it's interesting that people, and I think also the way that someone commented that she rose pretty quickly because she she came around during the red pill kind of influence thing, and that probably made a difference. And I think that's kind of interesting because, a lot of people who were genuinely being, having a hard time online, maybe they were whistleblowers, or maybe they were like J6ers, or, you know, moms, or like Tina Peters, or things like that, who actually had real stories of pain and suffering that nobody would believe, that had full evidence. And there are people like Patriarchy Hannah going around with like no evidence of anything, just like putting this meticulous story together, and people are just believing her. I think we have to start asking people, why are we actually believing people who don't present evidence to the fact, and why are we persecuting people who have endless evidence to support their statements? It's kind of like, I think we have a very backwards thing in society right now, and why are these people being pushed on the algorithm? Because there's a lot of people who are genuine who are being suppressed, and then why are people like her, like, who are completely inauthentic, being pushed to everyone? Like, that needs some serious investigation. Make it make sense.
Yeah. Like I said, I have been directed towards a couple different people with good private investigators. I intend to follow up with them in the next couple days, and when I get quotes and just like give a general idea of what the kind of scope of the situation, I'm hoping to get like price quotes or whatever, and from there I'll do some crowdfunding for the legal investigation, because quite frankly, like, her having people's personal information really frightens me, not just for her own criminal history, but the criminal history of the people in her family. I just don't think I think it's much better to be safe than sorry. And at the very least, somebody who has like such an extensive record of fraud and identity theft, there needs to be some sort of note somewhere in some with some sort of authoritative body that is saying that, like, keeping an eye on the fact that there could be possibly dozens of alts and fake personalities on the internet, in some form or another, preying on people. And with that,
And that's a problem. Yeah.
I just wanted to kind of weigh in on a little bit about what's going on with this woman. When somebody's taking the time to create this elaborate deception, it's presenting something that's very, very disturbing about someone. Because to create an alternate life of someone else that's not you, and there's something wrong with that, because eventually something like that is eventually going to get caught, because you can't tell that many lies to fabricate an entire existence and expect not to get caught, and so forth. So there's a level of she's got some mental health issues that definitely need to be addressed, and I think that needs to be dealt with, because someone like this getting caught is not going to stop it. They'll just look for another out, because it's going to push them into a situation where they'll probably want to they'll probably feel more miserable about themselves and feel the need to go in and relive this experience in another form somewhere else. So
Yeah, and you missed the part where we were talking earlier, Dad, where Kim was explaining how her brother is a convicted child predator. She was getting baby clothes sent to her from other people. She had the personal information of multiple people, like she was gathering a lot of people's personal information,
well,
addresses, and
actually,
other
there was
things.
another. I'm going to interrupt just really quick because I want to say this while I remember. There was another element of this where, like, she was insisting that she was deleting people's information and deleting pictures, but like later on, she was talking, like, people would say something to her about, oh, like such and such about my kid's picture, and she's like, oh, well, I'll go and delete that now, and it's like, okay, wait, you said that you deleted everything. So like, and then there was a whole thing where it seemed like she was like weaponizing the fact that she had people's information against them. And I just, like I said, it just seems, it would seem foolish to not alert somebody to this. At the very least, the people who, like Emily, who have like shared personal private information, who also have families, like, should.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of accepted it at this point, honestly. Like,
Right.
I don't think that I have given her any reason, to try to bring me any harm. Like we had a last kind of a final conversation, and I can't really accept anything from her as truth, but she like genuinely apologized to me privately, and I mean, she knows a lot of details about my life that only a few people do, and she has like all of my personal information, and that just is what it is. Like
Yeah.
it's just gonna be what it is. And I hope it's fine. And if it's not, then I mean, I'm not concerned because there's nothing she knows that like the people close to me in my life don't, obviously.
Right.
But
Yeah, like I said, my concern would be if like if there is any truth to the idea that there's multiple people running the account. I just like
sure.
if there's sensitive information, I just want people to consider at the very least like coming forth with some kind of report that just says like this is what happened, and like it's probably nothing, but like we know for a fact that she has a career history of identity fraud. And
Right.
so like I just, again, it's just a red flag for me. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to put pressure on you. It's just something that I would suggest to anybody that was a friend of mine, anybody who I could like ever cared about. If you shared information with somebody like that, I would
Sure. Yeah.
at least consider it. Like I said, I don't want you to feel like I'm telling you what to do, because that's not my intention whatsoever. Anyway, I'm gonna hit play, and we'll listen to a little bit more of this, and we'll jump right back in.
One person, one time. Otherwise, like I've never taken anything from anyone. I've never asked anyone for money. Like nothing. It really was just like it was something that got carried away, and I enjoyed it. Like I'm not denying that I enjoyed it. I started to get very convicted about what I was doing. What? Why is that funny?
It's just it is funny. Like I mean, like you can't even script this. And then like I said,
they're literally
like,
laughing at her.
I'm riding with Patriarchy Hannah no matter what.
I know.
Not really.
The funniest thing of this whole thing was like people who have now totally turned against me, obviously, and like won't even speak to me and think that I'm just like the worst person on earth. They warned me that the Groypers were going to dox me, and the Groypers have been the only people who supported me at all. So I don't know. It's kind of funny.
They're using her as like
so Dalton,
like,
go
yeah,
ahead.
it's not a flex.
I've been listening to the whole thing, and again, I think it's a benefit that I don't know all the details. And I kind of said that earlier. I don't seek out. I don't read trash when it's weaponized.
It's a benefit. I'm hosting the space. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Against my friends, right? I would never, because I don't think it's really. I don't think it's productive for me to do that.
Not productive,
because I know you.
The total saint. We're lucky he's here.
Like on a, not just because really fuck it. I mean, people use fake names all the time, just on a surface level basis about this whole situation.
Yeah, I'm not really Paul Allen from American Psycho, guys.
If you guys didn't know that. Like, I've known Hannah in terms of like, I've spoken to her about all kinds of shit. Like what, like not content, not like collaborating, not way beyond like the Twitter persona that was Patriarchy Hannah. I actually have spoken to Hannah, and I would consider her a friend of mine.
Okay, so there's a second person trying to join, also using the name Emily May. So I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna bring them to the stage and see what that is.
Sorry, that it's still me. I got picked out.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Okay. Problem. I was just like, why are there two Emily? That's weird. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna play.
Is the person speaking to her right now Nick Fuentes?
No. I don't think Nick was part of this at all.
And
I
wish.
In my like ultimate pettiness,
Has a similar
like,
voice.
This, we're not seeing who's speaking, and I'm sorry, that was like a huge oversight on my part. But people in the chat who did listen to this, who might be able to fill in names. I think someone earlier said the first bit of the conversation with let me see. I know it's here, right in here. 1 second. It was Dalton, Paul, and Beardson with her initially, and I know other people came and joined in eventually, and maybe we people who are watching can help fill that in as other voices join. But I think those are the only people who are talking right now.
Okay, I think someone's typing.
Oh, that was me. Sorry. I left my mic open while I was doing that.
Okay. All right,
Hey,
guys.
Bryce here. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
I got a hold of the thing from last night, and I was listening and watching. I got in about an hour in. An hour in is when they really started to throw the cluster bombs at everybody. But then after that, Pearl Davis did show up after
So
that.
about around the hour mark is what you're saying?
That's when the firebomb started really going off on those guys. When like I couldn't write a movie with the things that they were saying. Like, you would not believe, if I turned that script into a producer, he'd be like, "That's so unrealistic." No, there's no way no audience would ever believe this.
Well,
and then Pearl came in that last, probably 30 minutes after that.
Okay, so yeah, well, it definitely does. So around the hour mark is where it really gets spicy. I'm gonna let this part play a little bit further just to see what's going on. But we also might very well skip ahead because there is quite a bit of recording here. Thank you for that input. I really appreciate that.
So I believe you are who you are, as like I knew you and know you now, right? I guess my question would be, number one, were you expecting this, and did you have, you didn't have a plan, did you, right? Because I'm not trying to be mean, but you seem kind of frantic, right?
Yeah, I have been for like days. I didn't know that this was going to happen. And I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Like, I don't know what I can do except say, like, yes, I lied. I apologize. I'm sorry. Things got out of hand. I viewed the relationships that I created as real because I was authentic with that stuff. Some of the stories are real, some of them weren't. I don't know. There's like 130,000 tweets. I can't go back and account for every one of them. And some of them I didn't write. You know, like there's one going around, people are laughing.
Wait, oh my gosh. She just went from crying to like, I'm so done.
Yeah. Stay in shape for my husband, whatever. I didn't write that. I'm fucking fat. Like,
you know, it is pretty funny because I remember when we did your podcast is the Patriarch, or what is it called?
Patriarchy Country, yeah.
Yeah, I remember like in our conversation, you're like, "Oh, well, I'm only 95 pounds." I always assumed you were like rail thin. But it's okay that because I mean,
no, kind of. I had to keep up the persona, yeah, for sure. But like, yeah, no,
like 100% a pog, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
So I did see, like, after the apology, some people.
This is just a circus to them. They don't really give a shit about it.
Yeah, literally, because she was like, "Oh, I never said that. I'm fat." And then he's like, "But in our podcast, you literally said you were 35 pounds, so I thought you were real thin."
At one point,
so like, she's a perpetual liar. Like, she can't help herself.
She talks
As much
to
as
you
I
more than
want
she was all the time.
Sorry. As much as I want to psychoanalyze kind of what's going on with Jennifer, and I'm so interested in this like way that this personality disorder, whatever it is playing out. I mean, I'm not a doctor. Gosh, these guys are really telling on themselves, right? This is some serious cope to try to deal with the fact that they were fooled too, and they're dumb. This is going to be kind of maybe an inappropriate accusation, but their corn brains, if you will, are really acting up. I assumed you were real thin. I assumed you were like, they're just trying to cope.
Yeah.
Like I fully agree with that. I think what we're seeing demonstrated right now is the prejudice. because as soon as a guy thinks that a woman matches his prejudice idea of what that woman should be, which is also unhealthy, by the way, then you're going to believe absolutely anything she says and anything she does to be positive, when very clearly her character doesn't outline that of a good woman or like a decent individual, like a human being. So it's like their prejudice in their own mind, and like you said, their corn brain literally screwed them over. This is showing like what these like red pill or whatever like they're doing is very harmful, because their promotion of women like this is actually why so many people are getting scammed.
I'm gonna, yes, I agree. I'm gonna also weigh in on this. This comes out of a false idea of what a patriarchy actually is, because a lot of these women are abused, and some of the stuff that she's saying is absolutely abusive. Most people are absolutely clueless. Like on I'll be honest, on on X, I have not heard one accurate description of what a biblical patriarchy is. Everything that I see that is representative of patriarchy is 100% false. A false representation. Well, yeah, maybe there's some element of it that's true, but it's a lot of it's wrong. And this is why these people were sucked into this, because it fed into the delusive beliefs and made people feel good. And that's really why and then having that, as Keisha said, that image of their ideal woman, they're more likely to take something that a woman they believe is their ideal match to be true. And that's just sheer stupidity.
Absolutely. All right.
Yep.
Lewis, welcome back. Do you have anything you want to add before you continue playing? All right. Maybe not. All right. I'm just gonna keep it going.
Files on these like BDSM websites. I think they're like over.
All right. For the sake of time, too, I am gonna speed up the audio just a little bit. Let me know if I think it's just a 1.5, not anything crazy.
10 years old.
Okay,
I don't even know the logins to get off of them. But I mean, I don't know what to say about it. Like, okay, fine. I never did anything with any of it, and like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. Yes, that's me. I if I could delete it, I could, but I don't even know if some of those sites are even still running.
So you kind of have like fetish, or was that long standing? Was that
well, the patriarchy stuff, like those beliefs are real. Like I do believe in patriarchy. Like that's just like extra, and I'm probably not going to go into all of that.
Am I the only one who lost audio?
No, it's been a nice break.
Oh.
how this happened? Like, I mean, she talked about she's getting shot up at the doctor. She's got a needle in her arm. What is it like? I don't know what.
Yeah, they were literally taking blood from the doctor when I got that, and then it was like, oh shit! Like there had been 2 other accounts before that one that were claiming that like something I said wasn't true about Tony building a house, whatever, and that is true. He didn't build the house. I didn't make that post, but that's neither here nor there. Some of the posts I made weren't.
So again, this is multiple times in just the first 20 minutes where she's been like, oh, but this post is a lie, but it wasn't mine. But it wasn't mine. I didn't do that.
Actually,
if I could go back in my life and just like look at moments I regret and say, oh yeah, that wasn't me, that would be so nice.
Right. I just wanted to point that out.
Everyone thinks that by me saying other people were on the account that I am trying to like put the blame off. I'm not. Like I'm the one that's in the hot seat. Like I'm taking all of the blame. You know.
So there are other people responsible for this account.
There are other people responsible for this account. Yes.
Okay. And then, so why were you the only one that used this account?
I just want to say that baby noise was my baby. That wasn't part of the audio.
That would get on Spaces, or did these other people utilize Spaces?
Yeah, I really do have insomnia. I really do have a lot of health problems. I did have a lot. And that was I was the only one who was developing like real relationships. And so everybody else, like when this happened, they were just like, fucking, you're on your own. Like, you know, whatever. And so like they're gone. So It's fine. I'll take the blame for the whole thing. But people have asked me, how did this happen? And I honestly said,
Okay, so nobody else is gonna take responsibility, but like, and everyone bailed just last minute. So I'm left holding the bag. But there were totally other people because trust me, bro.
We're so lucky that she is so sacrificial.
Right.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I just can't
so
make any of it as truth.
my partner is there. My boyfriend is there with me. I kind of show him. I'm literally at the doctor while he's telling me that, like, well, I don't want to, anything I say, I feel like people take as I'm trying to get sympathy. That's not the case. It just is. The doctor's in the middle of telling me that, like, I need more aggressive treatment. And people are demanding that I show them my face right now or prove myself. And so I finally just said, like, fuck off. I can't deal with this right now. So I get home. They've actually linked me to my mugshot. I don't know how that happened exactly. But, like, and then it just kind of took off. And I denied it for a minute because I was like, I don't know, maybe I can salvage this. And I was so fucking retarded. And it was wrong. Like, I shouldn't have done that. I don't really know what everybody wants. I don't know what everyone wants from me at this point. I've already said that I'm going to delete the account. Like, once I said I'd leave the apology up for 24 hours and then I'd leave. I don't know what anyone else wants. You know?
Note that her account is still up now, and she said 24 hours ago it would be gone in a day.
Yeah, I'm on the page right now. It's still up. I mean, she has me blocked. Oh boy. But
yeah, but she totally deleted the photos, right? Like, for sure.
For sure, she deleted all your personal information. She deleted the photos. Don't worry about it, because trust me, bro. Yeah, no, I buy less and less of this the more I hear.
How long's the apology been up at this point?
So I posted a second thing just saying, like, hey, this is how we got here. Again, I'm so sorry. There were other people running the account too. Like, this is just how it happened. It started as a joke. That's been up for, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours now.
Okay, so your intention is to delete the account, though?
Yeah, I think that that's the only, like, right thing to do. There's a lot of people who said just delete all the old tweets and just start over as you. I feel like it's wrong to continue on this account that built a following on lies or half truths or whatever. Like, I truly want to do the right thing here, but, like, you know, well, maybe I'll come back to Twitter at some point. I don't know, as more as myself, or, like, at least in a non-account that's not, like, untruthful. But it doesn't feel right to. I mean, I think I've purged like 3,000 followers at this point, but I'm still over 20, and I just don't think the right thing to do is, like, keep that going. It seems like that makes it seem like I'm not repentant, you know, and I am.
Yeah. So
I'm so repentant. I might make another alt. I might make another Anon account.
That's literally what I heard. I was like, but you just said you're gonna make another alt.
You just said you're gonna make another Anon account. You just said,
how are you repentant, but you're gonna do it again? Like,
that's no repentance whatsoever.
She literally, and she confessed. Like, the fact that she confessed in front of everybody and laughing about, like, this is what's insane. This is insane. You literally can't make this stuff up.
What actually ends up happening, this is becoming a disturbing trend that you're seeing online, where you're not getting any type of restraint for this type of negative behavior and other kinds of negative behavior. And the way that the internet is structured, it makes it actually very difficult to actually prosecute people for what they're doing when they're causing them a lot of harm on the internet. This is something that really needs to be addressed. And I mean, this
is how legal precedents are set. 100%. So again, I'm going to use this opportunity to say once more, I'm going to be personally documenting all the interviews that I get with people who have interacted with Hannah. I'm going to be documenting my personal investigations, as well as reaching out to PIs and law enforcement, and I will be filming all of this, and who knows, maybe I'll link up with some of these other people who've been doing research. We've all been sharing research together. But this is an ongoing project for me, because I really do feel like there is a potentially very dark side to this that is not even
for sure.
Yes, actually.
Yeah,
sorry, just wanted to say something. Actually, after this, I'd like to talk to you because there's something else that I'd like to add. That kind of along this lines that you'd probably be very much interested in because
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yes.
And I think it's interesting. Like, I didn't know much about Patriarchy Hannah, but I used to do like Bible study readings in like smaller clippets on my page when I was just starting out. Now I do whole streams of it, and she would comment that women shouldn't be reading the Bible. And she found that in her Bible study group that like they're useless. And I was like, okay, like I'm not saying that I'm not saying that here this is what everyone should do. I'm just reading my Bible and saying why I appreciate what I read. And now that it came out that she's done this, I'm just like, so not only is she doing this, but she's also attacking people who are trying to do genuine conservative and Christian values, share genuine Christian values with everyone.
Right.
And she's getting promoted. So then you have to ask yourself, why are the people promoting this girl when they can see that she's doing this behavior? It's
Right.
like, do they want that to happen? Are they trying to suppress the good Christians and conservatives? Are they trying to use people like her to destroy the efforts of good women so that more men can stay angry? Because who suffers the most? Like, yes, people get scammed like Emily, and that was so disgusting and awful. But you have to also think about the men that are resentful already and in their villain arc because they believe that all women are awful and that Patriarchy Hannah is the epitome of what a woman should be. And she's going around destroying the women that they would otherwise genuinely appreciate. This is actually very nefarious.
Right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and keep playing.
Got Beardson. This is kind of an impromptu NHB reunion. Beardson was a reoccurring guy on NHB. I mean, Beardson, Dalton and I have given our take on this. We're riding with Patriarchy Hannah. What's your take on this?
Yeah, I missed it. I haven't really been listening to the whole thing. I'm sorry. I just caught this and I was like, oh man, this is crazy. But I mean, I don't know. I might get in some hot water here. Hannah has always been cool with me. I don't know. She's always been chill with me and had my back. And I don't really care about the lies or whatever. It's crazy. It's a crazy thing to do. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not like that upset about it. It's not like I was trying to like fuck her or anything. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just it's like, okay, so you're somebody else. I don't really give a shit. You're fucking, I don't know. Maybe I just look at Twitter differently. It's like, I look at Twitter, it's like an insane asylum anyways. It is. I just assume that everyone on this website's lying about something or insane. So I was like,
what a fucking insane cope. Are you kidding me? What?
I know everyone's lying about something or they're insane. Like that's deluded.
That's delusional. Deluded. That is such
and
a
wait, but these are groypers, right? These are groypers?
Yeah.
So do they believe that about Nick Fuentes? Do they believe that he's an insane liar that lies about pretty much like something or anything? Like,
I don't
come
know.
on, like this level of cope is insane.
The one thing I'll say is that regardless of the situation, you're gonna get, when you appeal to hurt, angry men, you're gonna get a lot of wing nuts, because a lot of guys that are in those corners in their parents' basement, a lot of them are there because they can't cope with the real world. So when people like her come forward, she'll attract a lot of the people who can't cope in the real world, so they'll build the online persona,
right,
and gravitate to that, right?
It was a grease trap is what she was. She was a grease trap, and the fact is, like, she shared just enough stuff that would appeal to the like right wing kind of trad sphere, that like made people want to defend the page regardless of like, there isn't anybody that like everybody agrees with all the time, but like she would make these posts that people would that were almost meant to like cause outrage, and in the outrage like get people upset with her and then invoke other people to like jump in and defend her. So like I think that is the pattern really that emerged, that became part of the addiction. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going here.
Hey, Kim.
Yes.
I'm gonna tap out. I've got to get some chores done and kids and all of that. I just want to pop in for a minute. Just didn't want to be rude, but thanks for doing this, and I'll come back and listen later when it's all done.
Absolutely, and please stay in touch. And anything I can do to help out, like, don't hesitate to reach out.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks, Kim. You're the best.
Nice meeting you, Emily.
Yep.
Nice
Have a
meeting
good
you.
night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play again.
Oh, okay. I don't really care. So that's my take. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? My thoughts were, from the beginning, I said it was a witch hunt.
Am I the only one that can't hear anything?
No, it's out again. Is Lou still here?
Oh.
I have questions for her while we're quiet.
I don't think she is.
Right.
I think someone mentioned though at the 100-minute mark is when things got crazy.
I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Around, let's jump in around the 55-minute mark.
And stuff. So anything I do, I get a lot of shit for, even if it's not even controversial, just because my.
Hold on. We're gonna go back just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Or being friends with certain people and defending people. So it's like kind of easy for you to say that when you don't really know.
Have you ever denied the Holocaust?
I've literally had like a whole group when I was in university go after my jobs and my future prospects, calling me an anti-Semite because I said I don't want you as an executive in one of our clubs. I literally got anti-Semitic smears for fucking no reason. So
I mean, that's what Jews do. The Jews do that to everybody. I'm talking it's like some real hardcore Hitler type of thing. Like you haven't really done anything like
no,
like Salmon Rads or.
Look at how much I post. I don't even post that much. I'm literally like a fucking mom who's about to have another kid. I don't have time for the shit. I don't know if you have kids. I don't know.
Hey, didn't she say she had no kids? And now she said she's a mom that's about to have another kid?
No, it's more of
It's more of in the thing before she claimed that she takes care of family kids or whatever, they're not her kids, but they're kids or kids of her partner and kids of her family member or whoever the other person has adopted kids.
That still doesn't line up with what anything that she said previously. As you listen to this girl explain this throughout this thing, it's very clear that she's lying about everything.
Oh, that's someone here. Hold on. Someone just said that's Marie, not her. So yeah, if somebody can let us, I think I'll be able to tell when Hannah starts speaking again. Let me just.
Oh, okay. I see what he's saying.
Okay.
She's a little my family does not like me being on the internet. My family goes to lengths to be off of anything. They get documentary requests regularly, journalists, all that stuff. My family doesn't want me doing this stuff. So anything I do, I get a lot of shit for, even if it's not even controversial, just because my family doesn't want our family name out there.
Was this what I was thinking about while you guys were talking, and I'm curious what you think about this, Marie. It's I feel like this whole thing is for me personally, it's very funny because it's all of the trad women have gotten catfished, and now they know what it's like for us guys who, you know what I mean? It's you guys have finally experienced what catfishing is, and it's kind of awesome.
You think women don't get catfished?
No, not in the same extent that men do. No. All right,
you finally know what it's like to be abused and manipulated by a woman that you care about, and you're being punished. So we love it. Thank you.
Bullshit.
What?
You ever even watched the damn shit? Anyway. These
No,
guys,
but it's like that's what he's kind of saying, like, oh, like a woman is punishing you, and like now we're like he just pretty much said he enjoys watching women punish other women. Like,
yeah. No, I mean they're a joke.
This has become like a Marie diary. Thank you, Marie.
Ask me questions.
See ya. Who do you think we should get next? I'm kind of looking at this Heidi or Jessica.
I trust your judgment, man. You're on fire tonight, man. Just let it rip.
All right.
Keep the win.
All right, yeah. Let's make it nasty.
You're in our world.
Oh, so clever.
BDSM.
Yeah, bitch, making nasty. Tongue on the throat, wide up, bitch, gagging. Bottles in the basket, pills in the plastic. She gon' do drugs, the way I'm doing acid. Fucking on the mattress, hit the best friend. Ain't nothing better.
This is just listening to them listen to bad music. I don't
And you have your dad's last.
Yeah, so I am adopted, and that's all I have to say about that.
But you have like there's like one male and two other females with the name just with base.
Yes, I understand.
All this gives me like true crime documentary vibes. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Listen, there's a guy who claims to pull my birth records. He's swearing that I'm not adopted. I'm not going to show any. I don't have my adoption papers like on hand. I was adopted, so I don't know what else to say. I am trying to be as truthful as possible about everything, but like I just didn't lie about that. Like I am adopted.
All right. See you, Mono. Heidi, you're up here now. Heidi, go ahead.
I love Heidi.
Hey, what's up, Jennifer?
Hey, Heidi.
Nice to meet you for real.
Yeah.
I think you're pretty fucking hilarious, personally. And
Thank
I was the
you.
one that said I think you should keep your account and make it a parody or a satire or just play off it, just keep it going. But I got a lot of flack for that, but I don't give a shit because I think it's really funny. And I think the whole point of the internet is to entertain ourselves and to have fun and for it to be funny. If it's not funny, then let's get the fuck out of here. But what I wanted to ask you was about the space I did where we were talking about MDMA. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was true. I really did.
That's all true?
Yeah, I as a person, like, quote unquote influencer, whatever, I wouldn't have gone into a space and claimed that I did MDMA if it wasn't true. I totally did. I did it exactly the way that I don't know how much you remember, but I have a brother who acquires things, and he got the ecstasy from Europe because there's no real good ecstasy here since 9/11. But
Holy
anyway,
shit.
and I did pretty intense therapy for like 2 days on it, and it helped me quite a bit. So that was all true.
Okay,
honestly, this is what I was talking about at the beginning when I said, let's be devil's advocate. What Heidi just said to her is exactly what I was telling you earlier that people were gonna say pretty much. And I was right, because now further into the stream, Heidi has said to her exactly what I predicted earlier people would say about her account. And that's this is going to cause a lot of problems. This is going to cause a lot of problems.
Also the idea that like, oh, well, like I'm obviously telling the truth because why would I say such a thing? Like nothing, there's no reason for us to believe any amount of anything that you say ever.
I don't have my adoption papers, and I just don't have any proof that I was adopted, but I was adopted. Why would I lie
I'm going to tell you, right, we've had this conversation before in a different context. I've been in and out of treatment since I was an adolescent, and thankfully, I mean, not since like my early 20s. I've moved on from that stage of my life, but upwards of 80% and typically more of the people who are in these youth and child or young adult and adolescent programs, upwards of like 80% or more are kids who are either adopted or like foreign adopted, and it would pan out to me that she would have the psychological damage of the adoption issues. That adds up to me, but then again, that it could be a total lie.
But then again, it's like it's not hard to get those papers. Like I went through the system because I was a permanent ward of the Crown for 3 years. I was taken from my dad unlawfully when I was a kid, and he got me back after relentless fighting for 3.5 years. I was a permanent ward of the Crown. My sister on my mom's side ended up getting adopted out. She's younger than me. That paperwork is always in the system. I could go and call the agency right now or tomorrow or whatever and order those papers, like a copy of those papers, like those documents. It's like, it's
Yeah.
not hard to prove the information that she's saying is
And
like,
according to
it's
somebody
not
else,
hard.
up the records and it wasn't true, and I think that was posted, but I don't, again, I'm not going to say one way or another 100% because I don't know 100%.
But yeah, it's very clear that, like what you said, there's clearly some trauma that lines up with something probably along the lines or whatever. But, you know,
Right.
for her adolescence, there's clearly something very wrong.
And I do like Heidi a lot, but I think that was a really lukewarm take of her on her part. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit play again.
And I was like, what the fuck is patriarchy?
I know it was so random, and it was like so off brand, but it actually, when I saw it, you talking about it, I was like, I just want people to know that, like, actually, when you have deep, my childhood story is not a lie. I was trafficked as a child. Like, I was adopted afterward. Like, I had some pretty serious, like, traumatic stuff, and that actually.
So she's saying because she was trafficked as a kid, this is why she is choosing to be a villain. Okay.
No,
Well,
I don't think she even knows that. I think that she's saying that part of the tragic backstory that made people come to her and view her as someone safe and someone that they could share their trauma with. She's trying to claim that part of her story is true. Whether or not it is quite not the point. I don't think she realizes that the trauma is really what's driving this behavior.
that's what I'm saying, but it's like, okay, continue. Let's listen.
One second, I just wanted to say something before you guys go ahead. Yes, she was traumatized as a child. This is very evident. But she, at some point, instead of getting help, she became the abuser instead of the victim. She's both a victim and an abuser. And now she's going out and abusing people because of some whatever deep-seated need to fulfill whatever issue. But she's no longer just the victim. She is now a predator as well as being a victim. 100%.
Yes, and that's my point exactly. Because she knows what she's doing is wrong and she's justifying the behavior. She's not even trying to acknowledge it or fix it, or even, she's like, okay, I know what I did was wrong, but whatever. Like, there's no remorse whatsoever. Like, she just does not care.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
I don't believe him. I don't.
Why are there so many dead spots in here? Just out of curiosity.
I would guess the host lost connection, maybe.
Was there a
Kim, do you
problem
know?
with audio?
Oh, it was a connection issue. Okay.
Was there a connection issue?
Oh, yeah, it's been going for a while and there's been no sound.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear something? Because we
Oh,
cannot.
yeah, I totally can. What the fuck? When did that start?
Maybe a minute ago, a little more. It's happened a few times.
Yeah.
Okay, here, let me hit play really quick. I'll play like 10 seconds or 5 seconds.
Lisa, fucking wireless. Fucking cocksucker. Fucking Pete.
Does that play?
I could hear it.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going it then. Sorry, guys.
Shit, go below one. Faggot.
You guys, come on.
He's got a cock in his mouth.
Yeah, this guy's chewing on dick.
Yeah, he's just eating dick. And he wants to judge.
Yo, I wanted to hear what he had to say.
I couldn't understand him.
Yeah, he had a cock in his mouth.
You can't be blowing 10 guys and then expect me to understand what the fuck you're saying.
Oh, rude. I can't get behind that one. Oh, you didn't like that? All right, we got Kayla, the wedding photographer. Kayla, go ahead. Yeah, Kayla, go ahead. The wedding photographer. Yeah, it's kind of like a camera. You just click on the mic button. You just click. You gotta be fucking kidding me. No, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm so happy to be talking to Beardson, the actual scum of the earth. And so many of you. So no. If you're gonna invite me in, you're gonna let me fucking talk.
No, I won't. I'll just talk whenever I want.
Yeah, that's not really how this works. I don't know.
Yeah, shut up. Shut up, bitch.
Jennifer was actually a friend of mine. And what's unfortunate for her is that the people that are in here that are standing up for her are some of the worst, most unchristlike, disgusting insults.
Shut up, bitch.
Called out.
Want to hear me?
Yeah, I want to hear out. Yeah.
Because all you do is you've made your profile on insulting women's appearances, and I feel so sorry for you.
Hang on, I'm going to cut you off because every single one of those are insulting me first. And I defend myself.
No.
Sorry, guys.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Okay, fine. That's fine. I'm going to talk about Jennifer because that's what we're here for.
Well, I just want you to respect the state of the person because I was defending myself against these women. So.
Okay, cool. Well, the fact that you're leading this and I talked to her on the phone last night, I would love the opportunity to speak.
Well, you called me a disgusting person. I just feel like an apology would be nice. Yeah, I think you should apologize.
No. I don't apologize to misogynistic, racist Nazis.
Oh my god. Okay, like that's stupid.
What are you, are you Jewish, Kayla?
Yeah.
No. Why does that matter?
What's your cup size, sweetheart?
Yeah.
Oh god. These
Let's
guys
get that
are
brass tacks. Let's quit fucking around.
Yeah, what's your weight, too?
My cup size is bigger than your brain, that's for sure.
Oh my god, say more.
But yeah, you got like what, these? Those are
Jennifer, these are the people standing up for you. Do you understand?
Oh, wait, we're fucking with you. We're fucking with you.
Wait, so I'm not. Kayla, what is your weight? Is that you and your husband in that picture? No, wait.
It's none of your fucking business.
Okay, but hold on. Breaking news. Okay. Kayla is Jewish. Okay,
no,
but
I'm not.
Yes, real quick, can we address her picture? She's abusing her husband in this picture. She's punching him. She's grabbing him by the neck. This is like domestic violence. Look at the picture.
Yeah, somebody should call the police.
Yeah.
I feel so sorry for y'all.
Yeah. Why are you here?
I'm here because Jennifer was my friend for 3 years off of this site that y'all clearly only have. Like, you have no lives off of this site. She was my real life friend.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So what's your point? Like what? So you knew the real Jennifer?
No, I did not. I'm telling you that y'all are encouraging her to keep this platform when she deceived me and my friends for 3 years in constant lies off of this website.
That's just hilarious. Okay, yeah, that is pretty funny to be clear. But what did she lie to you about exactly, Kayla?
Every single piece of her life and her existence and her husband that she doesn't have and her foster kids that she doesn't have.
So how does that affect you, though?
Because I'm assuming y'all have never had any interpersonal relationships, so you don't know how trust works.
Yeah, no, Kayla, you're just the greatest, coolest person ever. So go on. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you just got trolled, dude. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, welcome to the internet, Kayla.
Yeah, that's super fun. I feel just really sorry for.
It's hilarious because they got trolled. Like,
it's an incredible amount of projection.
This is just so insane. The degree of
It's
delusion
like
that they're
gaslighting. They're gaslighting.
And the thing
they know,
is,
they know what they're doing.
The whole like, oh, you're a racist, misogynistic Nazi. It's like change the station. This song sucks, but like,
The way, since we're skipping around a little bit just to like catch people up who haven't listened to most of this or parts of it, there were certain parts, and it's when I tuned out, when someone would ask Hannah a difficult question, and it was always a woman who was asking, and every time the guys would call them names, call them slurs, call them bitches, and then just talk over them. They were terrible hosts, just like objectively speaking, not to mention the way that it is convincing Hannah that they are actually on her side when the truth is they're using her.
Right. And I know Ryan is taking minute-to-minute notes on this, and I'm going to be touching base with him. And I'm going to go back and listen to the parts by myself, obviously, and I'll record that just for my own documentation of the investigation that I'm conducting. But like, that doesn't surprise me at all. This is like a very unserious space, and like the whole idea is like she like tried to portray that like she's like putting forth this like apologetic front when like this is just an attention grab.
Well, it's like, and like you said, Moxie, what she's doing when she's talking to them about this stuff, and then the men are attacking her, saying like, "Oh, what's your weight? What's your chest size?" and all this other inappropriate stuff, and calling her slurs. They know that the men who are listening, who are like predisposed to disregarding the words of a woman who might be, overweight, or if they think that they're, a feminist, or that they might have, certain tendencies, they're like creating the circumstances for those listeners to disregard the logic and reasoning that some like those women are bringing forward, like with their personal experience, how she said she scammed me for 3 years in real life and a bunch of other people, and it's like they're trying to get people to disregard it with like baseless ad hominems. Like they're trying to prevent people from actually realizing what's going on. And it's like, what incentive do you have? Are you so ashamed and embarrassed that you were scammed as well because of your own failed predispositions, that you're trying to now hide and cover up the failure to the point where you're going to cause harm and danger to other people? Like, are you that weak mentally and emotionally? Like, this is insane. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Dad. You seem like you want to say something.
Yeah, this is where people have to understand, when you have a complete anon account like that doesn't show their face and everything else like that, that's red flag number one. You cannot put a lot of stock into that. Like, and I'm not sitting down and saying every anon account is terrible, but you have to sit down and say that somebody that doesn't show their face shouldn't command and qualify as a leader, because you don't know who that person is. You don't have any idea. And so they're constructing somewhat of a fantasy, and they were duped by it, because they were, let's be real, they have poor threat assessment skills as men, and that's why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah, and because they have this stupid prejudice, because they're going on emotions.
All right. Oh, sorry guys, I'm sitting here. That's why I have my camera turned off. It's my little baby is crankers, but I'm gonna go ahead and play again.
Why? What's your weight? Why would you feel sorry for me? I'm doing awesome.
I mean, everything I need to know about your character is the fact that you asked me about my weight before you asked me anything about how I'm involved in the situation at all.
So, well, it is kind of important. Your credibility is
so my credibility as a human being is based solely on my weight.
Well, like, a lot of this thing, you kind of come across like a bitch too. So it's like, I mean, if you're ugly on the outside and the inside, it's like, yeah. And if you're a fatty,
yeah, you're over here. You're weighing the whole space down. You're weighing the whole space down.
Yeah, you kind of are. Still waiting for that apology, by the way.
I have zero reason to apologize.
Okay, real quick, thumbs up in the space if Kayla owes Beardson an apology immediately. I mean, you probably believe in democracy.
Go ahead. I would love to see how many people I need to block.
Cool. She's not playing around. Okay, don't thumbs up. Don't thumbs up, please. Let's see how many.
How tall is your dick?
I'm back about 8 inches. I mean, Kayla, if you paid attention to NHB and the mid-star episode, you would know that I'm hung.
Yeah, to a midget, Paul is huge.
It is fun. It is a little revealing she hasn't revealed her weight. Don't you think?
Yeah. It's all right, Kayla.
I mean, I just think it's really messed up that, I mean, no offense, Hannah, but you were the one that was lying and I'm getting attacked. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, you're still the number one target around here, Pearson. Unfortunately, it's public enemy number one.
What did I even do this?
He did nothing, and he is under attack.
Kayla, are you there? So we got a lot of callers calling in.
Hang out for a little while, Kayla. You don't have to talk, but I'm about to finish. So just
These guys think they have a radio show. It was literally a Twitter space. Like, there's no callers.
We got Clown World Destroyer. What's up, faggots? Yeah, hello. Go ahead. What's up, faggots? What's up, Jennifer? Well, I'm actually going to speak well of her. She's always been kind to me. Okay.
Damn. Dude, bro. Listen,
wow. Bro's
that's all we...
hot here.
No, this is a
Bro's
good call.
keeping it brief.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's keeping it a little brief.
He said, I like her. What else do you want from him?
So what?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in, Clown. It means a lot.
All right.
Wait, did y'all drop him?
No, he left.
Oh. Okay.
We got Meow Meow Bean.
I love that guy. That guy was great.
Mau Mau Beans. Go ahead.
Oh, hello.
Yes.
So Jennifer, was the 13 Black adopted children part of your sexual fantasy?
Yeah,
I never Black.
Okay, first of all, I never said that I had 13 Black adopted children because that wasn't true, but maybe you weren't here for the beginning of the space.
Sorry, it was 14, my bad.
I never...
I mean, you just sound fat.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you sound... Yeah, Mau Mau Beans, what is your weight?
Okay, you guys, please let me address this. So,
okay,
you may not have been here for the beginning of the space, but when I first created the account, I created it with a friend. She takes in and adopts foster children. She has some Black children. Yeah. I've never said that all of them are Black because they're not, and it doesn't have anything to do with anyone's sexual fantasy. And I think that's a weird question.
No, it's not. It was pretty weird that all of your children were supposedly Black. And
I never said that. Was literally never said.
And they all like sent you text messages like, "Oh, Mom, you're the best white mom." That was very strange.
Okay, well, that was never said, but okay.
You know, Mau Mau, this does seem like a misrepresentation. When she mentioned having black adopted kids, it sounded like it was just one or two. It didn't sound like all of them, like you're saying.
I don't know if you've looked at the text messages that she made up between her.
I didn't make them up.
Children. Okay, yeah, just this friend that nobody knows about.
I think that it's what the hell is going on? Did all you bitches listening, like, are your periods synced up? Have you guys been hanging out in the listeners too long? You guys are the bitchiest crybabies. What the hell? What does it matter? What does it matter?
It's fine. They all have the right to be mad. I just wish that they would be factual.
I mean, you didn't hurt me. Never liked you, so.
Yeah, but see, that's
cool.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is clearly a disingenuous, mentally ill freak.
Yeah. Well, and the whole thing is, it's like, here's what's boring about it is that they all want to go through this like autopsy of like everything that she's ever said on the internet. Now, well, was this true? Was this true? Did you lie to me about this? And, like, I don't know. Who gives? She's already like admitted that she's lied about shit. Who cares? I don't know.
I mean, but she's still lying though. That's my only problem. She's still saying that, like, oh, actually, my friend has all these adopted children, and she's the one who read all these.
I don't care. I don't give a shit about. No offense, but I don't give a shit about her person.
I mean, I just wish she stopped lying. That's all.
You know what I mean?
Like, what's the point at this point? Why are we still lying? Why are you saying that there was a baby? There's no fucking baby.
Okay.
Real quick, Jennifer, have you dealt with Mau Mau Beans before in the past?
I don't think I know this person.
No, she doesn't know me. I had her blocked for years.
You had her blocked for years? Like, I mean, it sounds like you have like a vendetta against her. So, I mean, like, I'm kind of right, Dalton. I mean, it's kind of, what's the?
I honestly didn't expect to be a speaker. I just came up with the best singer I could.
What's the lore though? I mean, why do you hate, like, what's going on there?
Yeah, that you would block her.
Oh, it always came off as she had like some weird black fetish or something.
Bro, I'm like looking at your timeline now. It's just literally you like bitching about other people all day. Like that's your your whole timeline is like you just obsessed with like people on the internet. Like, have you ever thought about like getting a life?
Oh, I do have one.
Do you? Because it's like you seem to spend a lot of time bitching about like the Wilsons and like this whole situation.
Like, literally, that's the only time I've ever bitched about them. But okay.
It's just like weird. Like, you know what I mean? All right, we got a Phil Dude Bro. Phil Dude Bro, go ahead.
Hey, I was just coming up.
Oh, drunk Phil? Oh my God.
Hey, imposter.
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay, and you're drunk and you live like a pig. Okay, please go.
Phil, you're fucked up, brother. You're fucked up.
Yeah, no, Phil, how many have you?
What did I say? How am I fucked up?
Holy
I just
fuck,
said,
dude, this can't be real.
You guys, we literally call this guy drunk Phil, okay?
Holy shit, Phil.
What are you
and I called you out of your bullshit too.
No, you didn't. No, you
Yes, I
didn't.
did. I did it many times. That's why you blocked me.
No, I blocked you because you call my children juvenile delinquents. And because you're a drunk.
What children?
Okay, but they're still not, they are real.
What fucking children? I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. This is insane. Like, this
They're
is
not
actually
juvenile
crazy.
delinquents. So,
But guys, I gotta get up in a couple
I
hours,
already
so
admitted.
I gotta bounce. I
Okay,
gotta
yeah.
dip out. But thank you, Kim, for like inviting me, and I'm gonna look forward to hearing how this progresses. I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And good luck tomorrow, and say hi to all the peeps for me.
Sounds good. Have a good night, guys.
Good
Ciao.
night. All right, I'm gonna keep on playing then. All right, we still got a good bit of stuff to go through, so I'm gonna let it play.
This was originally pitched as a reaction thing. We got to hear more of your reactions to this.
Yeah, I again, I'll have more of a reaction. I mean, I guess if you really, what I'm hearing is like a lot of what Peach was saying earlier is just super true. These guys are treating her like a joke, and they don't take her seriously, and they don't give a shit about her, and they don't give a shit about her life or the fact that she lied. They're taking advantage of the fact that this is a media circus. These are the same people who lived off of blood sports, but blood sports got old really fast because after a while, like nobody, like it was entertaining for a little bit, but it just became a bunch of these like really effeminate dude bros like screaming at each other over live streams while they like got way too drunk, and it just like became something that people didn't care about anymore. And now there's this like new hot juicy gossip, and this like really, there's a lot of emotion and there's a lot of anger around it. So these guys are like, oh wow, we can bring back the blood and circus sports. We can like I think it's incredibly disingenuous on their part. I think that these guys are incredibly manipulative and are just using this to stay on top of whatever's most relevant.
Truly some of the most emotionally immature men that I've heard open their dumb mouths in a while. Like really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's where I'm at this point. I'm gonna let a few more minutes play, and then I'll keep in with the reactions. But again, this is it just seems as if they're using this to like farm their engagement and farm their anger, their anger farms.
They're all juvenile delinquents. Okay. Fuck you.
I want to see if Phil can spell juvenile.
Yeah, Phil, let's see that.
Juvi.
You already fucked up. Yeah, you're correct, brother. Hey, you have a good night. Good night, Phil.
Yeah, I don't know about that guy.
Hey, will you guys let Clown World Destroyer back up if he requests?
Yeah, no, he's back.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Clown, go ahead. All right, sorry, dropped out. What I wanted to say was, I think that you guys are giving her way too much airtime. I think Patriarchy / Jennifer.
Yep.
Go into obscurity. Quit talking. Just get off the app. The shit you spewed is not Christian, and lying about this shit is not okay.
Wait, what did she spew that wasn't Christian? I'm curious.
Just being a liar. That's not Christian, bro.
Just lying.
Yes. On the level that she did, gaining favor and trust through fucking straight lies is unchristian, bro.
Okay, I mean, have you ever sinned?
Absolutely. To this extent, no.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, you're a fucking lying.
Gaining favor of like 10,000 people saying that I'm a mom of 14.
You're lying right now.
Acting like she's an awesome Christian when she's fucking lying to everybody. Are you kidding me?
You sound like the type of guy that would tell other guys that he's a mom of 15.
Bro, your butthole sounds like it's full of cum. Just shut the fuck up.
I don't even know what I just said, to be completely honest. That made no sense, but
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing, right? You want to ask her for like sinning, like everybody sins. It's like, yeah, it sucks. Like, you don't.
Also, so no sin is bigger or smaller to you. You just think that everything. Are you a fucking nihilist? What's wrong with you, bro?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that to sit here and act as if like because you sin, then you need to like log off is kind of crazy.
Do you think it's just because of one sin? Do you think like she stole a cookie, bro?
You said hold on, actually, because I'm the co-host. I can just mute you. I forgot I could do that. Actually, it's awesome. No, but you said that like what she said was like anti-Christian. Like technically, sinning isn't like like spewing anti-Christian rhetoric or anything. So that's why I got into this. You get what I'm putting down, and like,
see what they're doing now is they're doing the whole like, well, actually, this is what's happening. Well, actually, this is how you should feel about it. Well, bro, it actually doesn't matter if it's not Christian, like, oh, is it that she was not, is it that she wasn't directly opposing it, or is it that she isn't Christian herself? It's more mental gymnastics in order to cope with the fact that they also fell for this incredibly just like manipulative person.
For sure. It's illogical and it's manipulative. Like, this is actual verbal abuse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these guys are not known for being polite. And quite frankly, like, anybody who's watching this, who's followed me for any amount of time, I can be a real nasty person. I'm not opposed to, like, serving up the spice. But the fact of the matter is, like, it's with people like Beardson and all these other guys, it's literally their entire personality. So, like, their involvement in this is nothing more than just jumping on the next spicy topic. And they're manipulating this mentally unwell girl in order to, like, maintain relevance. And they're trying to, like, what they're doing is they're faking, like, putting her in, like, the little boys club, and they're using that umbrella protection to, like, mock her straight to her face, laugh at her, call her fat, call her dumb, like, openly say, like, yeah, I don't give a shit about her life.
And she just wants to be loved, which is how this all started, and so she's willing to take it.
Exactly. And it's sad for her, but it's also, like I said, all of this entire stream, all I've heard really is that it's just further validation for the mental illness that supports her decision to keep stuff like this up. So honestly, like, it feels like Patriarchy Hannah was probably the most successful of her fake persona pages, but even that might not be true. It, once you understand and establish what it takes to, like, work with the algorithm and start to gain traction, I wouldn't be surprised if there were other somewhat viral pages out there.
We're gonna have people being so paranoid. It used to be, is it cake? And now it's gonna be, is it Patriarchy Hannah?
Is it Patriarchy Hannah? Yeah, it's totally wild, but I'll keep playing. We're gonna.
I just wanted to say something here as well. With what those guys are doing, they're actually fueling what she's doing. They're when they're sitting down and they're asking people, like, what her weight is, and that lends to her credibility. That's absolutely absurd, and they're doing far more damage. And whatever their reasoning for it, making this woman into more like a worse version of what she's already done is not the right thing to do. These guys are doing wrong as well.
They're doing her, and they're doing wrong to everybody involved in this situation. And the whole idea of, like, well, why do you care? Why do you care? It's like, because there are real world implications behind having your personal information with somebody who has a severe and serious criminal history of identity fraud and general misrepresentation of identity. Anyway.
Right. This is exactly why I had said at the beginning, like, just listening to this last night when it was live felt disrespectful. Like, I couldn't justify continuing to give them the engagement, give them the view, when this is how they're treating themselves, each other, and her victims.
Right. And like I said, I sort of shot myself in the foot and thankfully they're announcing people now, but, like, I shot myself in the foot, not so you can't really see who's talking as they're talking, and wait for them to say, but I didn't want to give them the engagement either, to be completely frank. I don't want to give them 2 hours of active live viewing. Like,
to be honest, I don't really want to listen to it now, but I think the value of this stream is being able to stop it and call out that is wrong, that is not okay, and have a voice up against theirs, because they are the ones that are loud and hateful and mean and frankly stupid. And it's good to counteract that with calm, not emotional, but, like, rational. That was wrong.
I totally agree. And I appreciate your participation, even though you didn't initially think you were going to. I think you've offered a lot of insightful stuff, and I appreciate you tagging along as long as you have. And we're going to keep going because we got quite a bit left to go.
Gaining favor through lies is definitely anti-Christian. Are you just like mad that you can't get followers? Are you just mad that she just? Do you think I care about followers? You fat fucking Jew. I don't give a fuck. I'm not Jewish, for the record. I mean, you look like it, you piece of shit. Yeah. What do you look like? Anyway, stop giving this woman any fucking breathing room. She's a fucking liar, known liar. Just stop listening to her. Jennifer, just get off the fucking app. No, I'm going to listen to more of Jennifer. Yeah, I bet you will. You're seeing about it because it's really funny. Yeah, I'm really mad about it.
Listen, I'm going to
wait, Clown World, hold on. Why are you so upset? Like, did you guys forge a friendship like over the internet and you feel betrayed? Like, what's the deal here? I don't feel betrayed because I'm a man and I fucking know these things are going to happen. But my wife, for instance, she's not happy about this. She's betrayed. Did she make you get on the space tonight? No, she actually did. You go tell that bitch who's possible. At least I have a wife that fucking comes out and
wait, stop. Wait, can we stop? Listen, Clown, you are right. With my sin was egregious, and I'm logging off tomorrow. Like, I want to leave my apology up for 24 hours so that people can see it, and then I'm leaving. Paul asked me 2 days ago if I would give him the exclusive, and I said I would. I have all my friends. Like, what difference does it make at this point?
You got the pogs and babies.
Like, they're the only ones who are even like remotely willing to be nice about it. So I'm not trying to minimize anything.
I think you are, and I think it's all a lie because you have people that are actually closer to you that talk with you every fucking day. I know all the people, but you come over to these fucking faggots.
None of those people want to talk to me.
Speak to people.
None of those people want to talk to me.
Give them an exclusive. Why don't you talk to your fucking people you talk to every day instead of these guys?
Because those people don't want to talk to me. Like, and I'm not minimizing anything.
AKA, they don't have as big of a platform. I'm just saying.
He will actually say that here soon if we haven't skipped it. Like, that's coming.
Okay.
The guys can tell you, like, I've multiple times said, like, what I did was terrible, it was wrong. I feel awful about it. So, and I'm sorry. And I do, okay? And
Dude, bro's mad he didn't get the exclusive.
I've texted with Belle. I've apologized to her as much as I can. Like, I feel awful. I don't know what else you want from me. I'm sorry.
I want to say something real quick too, because it's like very funny. The Clown World wants to bring up sin. You know what else is very Christian behavior? Is to accept an apology and to offer forgiveness. And that's the problem with all of you people. It's like you want to sit here and like drag Hannah or Jennifer through the fucking street, through the fucking mud. She's clearly like what else do you want from her to do? Well, she's gonna log on. She's gonna do this. Like none of you guys. It doesn't really matter. Like you're never gonna extend any sort of grace or charity towards her at all. You know what I mean? So it's like that's why I don't like this whole. If she would have reached out to me, she sinned, and that's bad. It's like if she would have reached out to me personally, I would have gave her.
So many people have extended this woman charity. Are they goddamn serious? I'm sorry, excuse the blasphemy, but are you kidding me with this nonsense about? Oh, well, like, it's the Christian thing to do. Yeah, it's also the Christian thing to identify the sin. It's the Christian thing to, like, it's not Christian to pretend as if, like, it's all fine and dandy. There's lessons to be learned. Consequences are a part of even the Bible.
And what part of their stream is charitable towards her? None of it.
None. It's all nonsense.
All the grace in the world, but she didn't. She decided to be Machiavellian, so she decided to go through other people. So she didn't DM you personally.
I reached out to Belle. And so
last night. This has been going on for a week plus.
Yes, I had to do it. I understand, like, nobody wants to have any, like, grace or anything for me. Like, I get that. And I'm not asking for sympathy.
Nobody wants to have any grace for me.
And it's been days and days of, like...
bullshit.
Just DMs telling me that I, like... just horrible things. I've had to do it in pieces. And I tried to explain that to her in the text message, like, I can just only do so much at once. Because, like, it's just hard. And it's embarrassing. And I'm sorry.
It's really hard to run that many accounts.
I'm doing the best I can.
Even with insomnia.
She's crying. And we know how they feel about that one and crying. And here I am.
It's hilarious.
We love it. And so, like...
it is pretty gross. Jennifer, I accept your apology, but I'm just saying, like,
she just keeps appealing back to them, so it's like she's delivering the punchline, so to like try to weaken the blow because she knows it's gonna come, and like just appeal to be one of the guys. It's like you see it a lot with like adolescent girls who like hang out with a lot of guys. It's like, oh, no, haha, it's fine. See, I'm in on the joke. I'm in on that. It's really funny.
It is shattering how low her self-esteem is. It's so sad.
You should like leave all of this shit behind the whole, because it's all a front. It's all fake, and nobody knows what to believe in. So why even keep fucking going on?
Nobody has to believe anything I'm saying. They asked me to do this face. I'm doing this face. I'm doing this face with, like, you know, Dalton and Paul asked me to, and it was like, we don't get, like, we support you, whatever. And they've been very kind to me, which is more than anyone else has done for the most part.
More your real friends. True.
Well, that's
I mean,
true. You're assuming that nobody else talks to her. Number one. I mean, that's just crazy.
No, I'm not, DC.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people.
I've talked to Hannah I would say daily for quite some time now, up until just recently, after like her deactivation and sort of lost touch and stuff. So
yeah,
I think
I'm not daily, but yeah, we talked. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? I'm not like a big woman talker like Dalton is. So you know. If you guys don't think I can extend grace, which by the way I do, you guys heard the first thing that I said. I said she's always been kind to me. She's been nice. She actually introduced me to my wife. I have a kid now because of her. So it's good things. But I think giving her air and airtime, and like especially with you guys, I'm sorry, but you guys are fucking assholes, and you guys suck. That's
yeah. Take your wife's tampon out of your ass, dude.
The shit you say, is kind of interesting and fucked up. You know,
did your wife
like
tell
a 14-year-old, but like to real just adults, it's horrible.
Wait, please don't
from your wife.
Please don't be rude.
You even hear like Jennifer in the background, like, please don't be rude, don't be mean, like trying to like plead for this guy because she knows they're being assholes, but she wants them to like her so bad. It's just really upsetting.
Like I'm just trying to like this is my opportunity to like come clean. People can believe or not believe what they want, but I'm leaving tomorrow. Okay, and
I'm just gonna do a little refresh. Let me just I'm just going to her Twitter. Yeah, just for a little update. It's 11:52 the next day. It's about to be 2 days later, and she's still online. So like,
she's probably watching the stream, Kim.
You know, probably. And if you are Jennifer, I truly hope that you get help. But like, I'm still hiring a private investigator. So.
Be around it,
and again, I'm sorry for the cooing in the background. That's just
do not apologize for your sweet baby. We love babies.
She is adorable, but I just want to be clear because I don't want Jennifer or any of these other alt accounts going in and being like, listen, there's a baby in the background. No, that's my baby. That's not anybody. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna hit play again.
Like, yeah, I've talked to Dalton pretty much daily for, I don't know, the last couple of months. Paul and I have had multiple like private conversations. Pearson was the first person to reach out to me when I got doxxed and asked if I needed anything. So like, I went where it felt like I could get a fair like conversation. That's where I went. And you can say that's wrong, it was the wrong choice, whatever. But like, and yeah, I get it. Like they can be assholes, but these men have never been assholes to me, even now.
What?
I mean,
what?
You know, let's ask this question: have I ever?
They've literally been calling her a fat, dumb woman.
It's
what?
An incredible amount of cope on her part trying to justify it. The cognitive dissonance.
They've never been mean to me. They're not mean to me now. Oh, Beardson, what a gentleman. What a prick.
So sad. Oh, it's so gross. Like this whole thing just makes me want to go take a long shower.
Yeah, seriously. Yes, baby, I know. They're terrible.
And guys, if you want to talk about charity, not giving charity, they're about to read off a bunch of super chats. So they're actually making real cash money off this, and it's gross.
So like I said this many times before, and what you're saying confirms, like this has nothing to do with helping anybody. They're losing money because blood sports faded out and their podcasts aren't getting as many views as they used to. And they're trying to like re-enter the space with the rage bait, and it's making them money.
I'm sorry, did they ever have a listening on their podcast? Because a walnut would literally do a better job at hosting this.
Honestly, blood sports was incredibly popular, and like
sad.
It is really. I mean, like I liked a lot of the initial blood sports. They were done appropriately, and they were. I mean, like vicious debating is like very interesting, but the reason it fell off is because it like ended up in the ring with these guys, and they're just kind of dumb, and people caught on to that after a while, and the shine kind of wore off.
Oh my god.
But they still have their loyal people, and they also, I mean, who knows how many of their audience is botted. I mean, we know Nick Fuentes' audience is so hyper inflated. Like, let's not pretend that these guys probably don't have the same kind of thing going on. All right, I'll keep going.
Asshole to you?
No,
Never, right?
no, but you didn't. but you know, they are the ones who offered to do it, and I said, you know, yeah,
No,
okay, I'll do it.
I don't care if you're. It's talking to, I guess, those other people that you've also talked to on a daily basis, and then you just don't talk to them about any of this shit. You don't say anything. You just go to these guys. There's many people that you've heard here.
Yeah, no,
So, what do you?
No, you're right.
Why
No,
are you so
no, Clown World's right. Clown World, you should fire up the space. We'll all move over there. We're gonna have 2 listeners.
We'll do the whole 2
listeners.
That's what I'm talking about.
Sounds like a whole time.
Yeah, well, and I want to say something too. It's like, we're being, I think reasonably me and Paul and Dalton are being assholes to people, but contextually, the reason why I'm being an asshole to these people is because these people are essentially wanting to come up here and demand their pound of flesh from Jennifer. Yeah, and I totally get it. I get it. Again, it's like everybody wants to sit here and say, "Oh, this isn't a Christian thing to do," but meanwhile, like, there's no charity, no grace being extended to her at all. Like, yeah, what she did was fucked up and wrong. Who cares? Like, she's apologizing for it. She's trying to make amends like the best that she can. And then this whole thing, like, well, you didn't text me. It's like, dude, I'm sure she probably has to message like a fucking 100,000 people or whatever. It's like this is an impossible situation. And nobody, not to be too like fussy about it, but it's like nobody's extending any real sympathy to her. Like, what's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like she fucking murdered somebody or something. Like, I totally get it. Everybody has they're very emotional about it. Can't. No, that's you.
And I don't want to minimize that. Like, I've said a million times, like, I realize I've hurt so many people. Like, I am sorry.
But like, sincere to me. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I don't want to get like off in too much of a tangent between them. This sounds like something they need to handle in private. But Clown World, thanks for coming up. Thanks, Paul. Yep, take care. We got Andrea up here, and then we're gonna get some more callers. Andrea, go ahead.
It's Andrea. Hi.
Okay, Andrea, go ahead.
It's Andrea. Hi.
I don't give a shit. Go ahead.
That's great. I'll just say it again. It's Andrea. Hi, Jennifer.
Everybody, it's Andrea. Go ahead.
It's Andrea. Hi. Jennifer, do you remember me?
Andrea's a beautiful name.
I don't think so.
Yeah, Andrea is kind of a nice name.
Thanks so much. Jennifer, as you're saying that you're pretty stressed out and you're very sorry and you wish there was like another way you could have done this, but you're not getting a lot of grace and these are the only people who have reached out to you. I just wonder if you've considered hosting a space on your own page and allowing the people you say you feel very badly for hurting to actually ask you some questions without the little tribe you have up here of disgusting defenders.
I'm not Jewish, for the record. I'm not part of any tribe. Yeah, no.
So Jennifer,
I may host a space. I don't know.
I'm suggesting it. Don't you think that might be more fair?
If I could finish,
you want to
if I could finish, because I don't want you to like misunderstand what I'm saying. Like, I don't expect anyone to like have any grace for me, but all of my text messages, all of my DMs, all of my stuff on Discord DMs, like, it's all people telling me, how dare I do things this way, not that way. I haven't reached out to people personally. They're hurt by that. And saying, like, I actually am a person in this, like, and I actually just can only do so much at once. And so, like, I don't expect anyone. I'm not asking for sympathy. I don't expect sympathy. I don't deserve sympathy. I understand that I've hurt people. But, like, everyone has an opinion about how I should be doing these things. And I'm just doing the best I can. That's it. So I may host a space at some point. But the fact is, I don't have any friends left.
Right. I'm not
Thank you, Mike. You're always my best friend.
Yeah.
It's so sad. It's like obvious that they're manipulating her. And I don't want to just keep circling the same point over and over again, but this is like this is obviously an attention grab.
Well, Andrea, I hadn't. You went and then Jennifer. Mike, it's Andrea. It's Andrea.
I
was it Andrea? Your fucking jawline that's probably longer than your son's jawline. Son.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks so much.
But,
Jennifer.
What do you mean, anyways? Can I finish my statement, you rude bitch?
No.
You're fucking annoying. I can tell you're a boy mom. They're gonna be terrible, aren't they? Are they gay or something? Stop being a nasty fucking little bitch to this lady for your own clout. That's what you're doing. Okay.
Oh my god. So again, this is just like I don't know. I'm just gonna like skip ahead a little bit because like
literally anytime somebody asks a hard question or a difficult question, the guys just swoop in and won't let the person speak to Jennifer.
Yeah, again, this is just them doing this to like try to like desperately try to resuscitate a dot.
This guy, this is really disgusting what these guys are doing.
We got an echo.
If Hannah hosted a
We got an echo going on.
Yeah,
there we
I
go.
think somebody closer mic. Whatever these guys are doing, it's very disgusting. You can sit down and see that this girl is pleading for attention, and you can see that she is definitely damaged goods, and they're exploiting her left, right, and center. And they're really none of these girls should actually even be in this conversation, because these guys are not allowing any type of conversation. They're shielding the other girl from any type of accountability, and they're just there to say stupid things to get more clicks, to get more dollars. This is really all it is.
Right. All right, let's see what's going on. Again, I might skip a little bit. We'll see. I know.
Hey guys, I was meant to say Pearl is coming up. H. Pearl, the queen of trads, is coming up in about 4 or 5 minutes. So and it gets pretty good there.
Honestly, this is what I'm most interested in, because I wasn't there for that part, and that sounds horrible. But I was very interested to see Pearl's take.
Yeah, I actually do want to kind of just skip ahead to that part for at least the purpose of this space. Around what time? What's the timestamp again?
I think it's right about 100 minutes.
Okay, hold on. So it's like really any minute now. All right, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, so like 4 minutes from now. I was looking at it because I had screen recorded it when I was watching it, and that's when her little icon popped up.
Okay, yeah, word. Okay, I'm gonna.
Do I need to go get a glass of whiskey for this part?
Yeah, go ahead.
I am very sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I do accept your apology. I wasn't like.
Is this some charity? Is this some grace?
But like some of the other people, like Lindsay and Emily and them, they were pretty close to you. I was never on like that level. Like I never had your phone number, for example. But yeah, I accept your apology. Like people lie all the time. Like I don't know.
I appreciate that, Yellow. I am sorry that I hurt you by lying to you.
Thank you. I appreciate the apology for sure. But yeah, I would not necessarily like I wouldn't probably ever trust you again. Obviously,
that's totally fair.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Kazoo. Nice home.
Thank
But
you. Yeah, Kazoo. That was great. It's just check. No, listen, that was great. Hey, listen, I want to say that was really great. Yes, it's just there's the whole situation there is kind of unfortunate. You know what I'm listen. You know what I'm talking about. You don't have to.
Dalton, come on.
No, okay. You're right. Yeah. Anyway. What situation? What do you mean? I actually don't understand. Anyway, I don't know what you mean. But Bryson, what's going on?
What's poppin', G?
Hey.
Oh, Bryson.
So I look at this from both sides because I like being objective. For starters, I'm gonna start off with this, but I don't want anybody to confuse what I'm saying. The reason why a lot of people are upset at Hannah, there are a lot of genuine reasons, but a lot of it are people that already didn't like Hannah because they're deep down feminists. That's why they're so actually ecstatic and happy that Hannah is not who she says she is, because in their mind they were comparing themselves.
I actually do agree with that. I actually agree with that. I do think that a lot of the people that did turn on Hannah were people that were initially like not I guess not turn up. The people who were especially loud about being mad about this were people who are already like F this girl, F this like patriarchy nonsense. So I do think that that's actually a fair point.
I think that could be part of it, but I think most of the people who are the loudest are the people who are the most hurt. Like Emily Kay is a great example.
No, Emily's a great again. There's a lot of people with extremely valid reasons, but I do think that a lot of people did take the opportunity to be like, "See, I told you so. I told you so. There's no way."
Sure.
This created character, Hannah, and like women do, self-conscious stuff, and they secretly were very jealous and they really secretly hated Hannah. So when it came out that she was fake, they were so happy. I wouldn't be shocked if half of them threw birthday parties about it. So I want to start off with that. But
I think there's a lot of truth to that. But go ahead. I think there's a ton of truth to that.
Well, of course. I mean, it's basic psychology. That's why a lot of conservative women were angry at the trad movement. And even listen, I'm cool with just pearly things, but that's even the reason why she sort of co-opted the term trad and used it to describe these clearly feminist, conservative political commentators, because a lot of women feel convicted by their biblical roles. So they do whatever they can to destroy it. And Hannah was the representation of that on Twitter. With that though being said, and I just came into the space not that long ago, so. My question to Hannah, and if you've already answered it, then I apologize. But do you actually have any adopted kids? Like, or was that?
Okay,
false?
so you just came in, so I'll repeat it. So I started the account. Me and a friend of mine, she has adopted children. I have stepchildren that I'm not legally married to my longtime partner. We're not legally married, but I have his children that I take care of almost 24/7. We have like 90% custody. So I personally do not have children, and I don't have adopted children, but my friend who helped run the account, that's where that came from.
So she has an unverifiable relationship with a person who has his own children, and we don't hear from him, but he supposedly ran the husband page, and he supposedly has kids of his own that she supposedly takes care of 90% of the time, but you never hear them in the background, and okay, sure, whatever.
And that friend is not the lesbian girl.
The lesbian girl?
Isn't the girl that if I'm not mistaken, somebody said you sent the picture of a woman and that woman.
Oh, Allison. No, Allison is just simply someone that I knew, and I sent people her picture because she's pretty, and that was wrong and stupid.
Okay. I'm trying to think, because I feel like you've already probably answered a few different things. You already said you're not going to go too deep into your longtime partner, and you've already addressed the.
I will say that it's a man. So.
Yeah, she's not a dyke.
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't applying that. I'm just going.
No, I didn't think you were, but just in using the word partner, I just thought it would make it clear.
True, because when I hear the word partner, typically I do think like.
Right.
Clear.
Hey, I don't mean to anybody off, but I can't hear anybody else speaking. Is somebody speaking at the moment?
Yeah, I guess we got Miss Walker up here. Can you hear us, Miss Walker?
I can hear you, Paul.
Okay, it says in your profile you're a mother of 10. Is that true?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, so what did you want to say to Jennifer/Hannah here?
I don't want to say anything. The biggest reason why I came up here is because a lot of fuckers today assume that I'm her. so much so that today I was in a space and somebody brought up something that I literally had all of my children say, hi, because, people assume that I don't have kids because of
it. For the record,
Hannah and I have talked for 2 hours today. She told me just about everything she's telling you. I haven't heard everything else that she's told you, so I can't verify if that's what she told me earlier. I will be listening to the space afterwards, Hannah. You know where I stand.
Well, and I just want to give props where props are due. Miss Walker actually.
Jennifer knows where I stand. I don't know.
Miss Walker actually.
You're just a bitch.
Oh, okay. No,
I guess. That's okay, though. I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. I'm not worried about that. Jennifer, I'm going to move down and come back up because I can't hear you.
I don't think she can.
Yeah, I don't think Miss Walker can hear you.
Okay, well, I just want you guys to know Miss Walker actually birthed all of her children, which is amazing. So.
Yeah, but still, you can be a bitch and be a mom.
She's not a bitch. I don't call her that. She's one of the very few people who stuck by me.
I do have one more question, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Now, for your podcast, you did use my song as the intro,
Right.
And it was my song called Homemakers. So my last question is, do you even believe in that belief system, like from that?
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I have deleted all the episodes of my podcast. Won't be doing it again. Still very much appreciate you letting me use it. But yeah, I believe everything. I wasn't just BSing about my beliefs or anything like that. It just a character.
So yeah, I like Bryson. I typically he's cool. I appreciate that he took the time to weigh in, but again, I think this is one of those other things where they're totally letting him speak and letting him talk without interruption, because this is one of the people that if they were to challenge it all, they might actually get some slack from their weird little army. Anyway, I'll keep it going.
Created. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I have no further questions. Thank you, sir.
We got.
What really sums this up is, it's like when I was 14 and I found out WWE was scripted and stuff. It's like, I still love it. You know what I mean? I'm still
pretty late to the party there, bud.
Oh, yeah, okay, maybe it was before that. I don't know, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's
you find out it's scripted and it makes it better, actually. Like,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, okay, this is cool. Yeah,
That's not totally relate. Yeah, yeah.
We aren't suckers. We just like it's great. We're along for the ride. We totally get it, bro.
Sarah, go ahead. You're up here. And by the way, what's your cup size?
Whatever cup size fits into your socks. That's mine, and it's pronounced Andrea. Thank you. Jennifer. Hi.
What is she talking about? What's your weight?
Oh God. I don't know.
Don't answer that, Sarah. Don't answer it. Don't answer it.
Fatter. Hi, Jennifer. Hi. I'm not here to dogpile on you. I've remained largely silent when I was sent privately when this whole story started unfolding.
Mm-hmm.
But I
don't want to tell you real quick. I have a list of people to reach out to privately. You are like in the next batch. You were in the next batch. So I just want you to know I was going to do that.
And you know what? That
bull crap.
Requesting that is not something that
I think wouldn't expect you to.
But no, what I'm saying is that's not something that I feel that you would be obligated to do so. But what I do wanted to ask you is, I felt pretty close to you with, I wouldn't say that we spoke every day, but I spoke to you frequently enough to where I guess I trusted and believed what you were saying. I do sort of feel like a fool. But I sent you a gift for a baby that apparently never was. And
he's not any, I mean, he's older, but there was a baby. We did use your gift.
Okay. So that particular child was real. And the gift that I sent went to that particular child?
Yes.
Okay. My issue is I think what a lot of people feel is that had you come to any one person at any given time and said, look, this has gotten out of hand and this is a persona, I think there would have been a lot of people that would have helped you out before this snowballed into what it's become. I mean, I think that's where a lot of the anger comes from with a lot of, with especially women. And I guess there were certainly women that you were very close to. Why didn't you at any point say this is too much and maybe I need help to get out?
Wow. Okay. So that is a really good question. I really want to hear what she has to say.
So I almost say it about 1 million times, and I'm not blowing smoke up your butt or whatever when I say, like, you actually, there was a short list and you were one of the ones on it that I said she would understand, just because, like, we were close, even though we didn't talk a lot. Our views are very different on things. Every time I thought about it, I chickened out. Like, there was one time in particular, I texted you, I said, hey, can we talk? And I never followed up. And I'm not blaming you. Like, it ended up like you were like, yes, I can call you later. You never did. And that's not putting the blame on you, like, because I should have followed up on it. But that actually was what I was going to say. But I chickened out by it was like when you never like got back to me until like 2 days later or the next day or whatever, I had already chickened out to do it.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Paul, I just want to say,
what nonsense. Like, I don't know if anybody, I have been around compulsive liars more than I care to admit. When you do, like, choose to, not be super straight edge, like, you end up in a lot of like toxic situations around a lot of toxic people, and especially going through programs and treatments and stuff like that. Like, this is textbook.
Yeah, the reason I got I even knew about the space yesterday was because I had seen a tweet from Lou that was like, if you want a master class or a crash course in psychopathology, tune into this space now, which is what got my attention on it in the first place. And it is so illuminating to see every single item on this being hit. Like, you couldn't script this and have do a better job of explaining this kind of disorder or whatever it is. And that's part of why I was excited when Lou was here. I was hoping to ask her something about that, but I think that's worth coming back to at some time.
Right. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot more extensive looking into all of this because, like I said, I am truly worried that there's something more sinister at play here.
Of course there is. Listening to that woman, she doesn't have an ounce of remorse. She's like deflecting from what's going on, and then the people that are around her are using that ability and just furthering what she's doing. Like,
Absolutely.
This is a very bad situation, and I suspect that there are other people around her in the background that are going to take advantage of those tendencies as well. Because the fact that the way that she got up and got there so well, I'm sure that she didn't do this all of herself, because she doesn't sound like that kind of mastermind, the way that these guys are just bending her over in public. She's probably getting help from someone else.
So you do think there might be some credibility to there being multiple people behind the account?
Well, even if she's the one directly doing it, she's probably getting help and ideas from other people. Because,
we know. Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say, we know she got some of her ideas from other profiles that she interacted with. Part of what she was doing when she was asking personal information, engaging deep conversation, was then using those pieces to build more of her narrative.
Yes, but you like what she, like, when I'm listening to her, how these guys are talking or interacting with her, she's not like, I mean, yes, she can pull some of that stuff in there, but I suspect you get help, because when you're looking at it, and I did some reporting on this, the government is interacting and putting money into people to do wrong things, like to harass people, essentially. And we know that they've been in social media, and there was that involvement in social media. I wouldn't be surprised whether they are directly involved or indirectly, but allowing certain things to take place, that you have some kind of involvement, because these kinds of things have a tendency to create more distractions and damaging to people. Because now that this has come out, how many people are affected, how much people are taking away from doing other things. I highly suspect that she's not doing this alone. Highly suspected.
All right, guys. I am gonna try to skip ahead because I do want to hear the stuff with when Pearl joins, but I might have to go soon. There might be something going on upstairs that I have to.
I just double checked on my recording on my iPad. She comes up at like 1:53:30.
All right, thank you so much. I'm gonna skip ahead to that then and play a little bit, but I'm probably gonna have to go not too long. All right.
Up right now, WHBW Hannah. McSuggets for 3. Hey, Dalton, hope you're feeling better, you faggot. Hey, Patriarchy Hannah, you big bitch, how's it going? Massive dildo, by the way. Hey, Bumblefuck, get your Jewish ass the fuck out of here. And Paul, you can tug it, nig. McSuggets, get this fucking nigger out of here. This guy sucks. Can't win a fight and definitely wants to fuck Hannah just because she's a big bitch. You can have her, you dirty fuck. I'm just the messenger here. I'm just reading what's being said there. So thank you guys. And that is powerchat.live/ball69. But anyway, go ahead.
Sarah?
Hannah, we love you. Well, we got Pearly things on here. Pearly, do you have anything you want to say?
Well.
What are we watching, an anime? Get it out.
Yeah. What is this?
Jennifer. You used to tweet at me and talk a lot of shit. And I don't
think I really tweeted at you that often.
Oh, yes, you did. I have your tweet. And look where we are now.
Okay. You're welcome to gloat, Pearl. I muted you quite a while ago.
I definitely will. I'm going to gloat.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep going, actually. I'm relishing this moment. I've been waiting for this.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, it is two of the internet's worst people talking to each other.
And how...
I mean, what
they all get together and they
self-important weirdo
gossip and they talk trash about me, and it turns out she was faking having 10 kids. And I'm out.
Isn't your boyfriend black?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just wanted to get that away.
I mean, Hispanic, but.
Oh, I thought he was like a huge black dude.
No.
That's like the picture that I saw.
No.
The big African dude.
No.
Okay. But like all the people that worked for you were black, right? Anyways.
Are you like racist or something?
No, I'm just pointing out the fact that your boyfriend is black.
Yes. Right? The answer is yes.
Oh,
I mean, he's Hispanic, but
Well, he's black. He's Puerto Rican. He's black. So.
Okay. And
Mhm.
yeah.
What do you
I
mean?
don't know what your point is.
That ain't cool.
Okay.
Well, you're sort of like a race traitor. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's a white knight. See, I was going in on the woman, and
no, it's not. You're retarded.
yeah,
You've
and now
not been listening to this.
white.
Well, no, Pearl, can you clear this up? Do you hate
I mean,
white?
if you like,
I mean, it's not white knighting, actually.
If you spent
It's not
as
white
much
knighting
time
for
as
her.
you thought about like race mixing, then maybe you would get laid.
I don't think about race mixing. Your boyfriend is just
Maybe
black.
you'd get laid if
It's
you
just the
like,
fact that I'm
spent time
stating.
talking
You're
to
dragging this
women.
out for too long. I gave you the opportunity to just
I
stop
mean,
it.
you started
you admitted
it.
that your boyfriend was black, and
you
that's it.
started it actually. So
Yeah, I did. I just asked you if your boyfriend was black, and you responded yes, and that's
okay.
it.
Well, then move on, Walker.
Yeah,
okay.
you.
See you. Thank you.
Continue
You
on.
interrupted me actually. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, anyways, Jennifer, back to the topic. Yeah. So for months, you know, she was talking trash. And she's in like all of these trad women were going around talking all this shit. And look where we are now. Look where we are now. That's all I got. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pearl.
Good one. Yeah, have fun with your black boyfriend, Pearl. Big four-headed ass.
Wow, was that it?
Was that really it?
That was so much more tame than I thought.
He comes back in a few minutes. I can't remember when. Basically just comes to gloat again, just FYI, but it's not much more than that.
Okay. Well, all right, guys. I really appreciate you all taking your time. I do have to go help my husband upstairs. We got some kids being little devilish tricksters, so I got to go give him a hand. But thank you so much for joining tonight. Again, I'm going to be recording all of my interviews. I'm going to be recording the process of my investigation. Bryce, please reach out to me in DMs. We're going to be in contact. And thank you again for everybody else who participated, Dale and Moxie and everyone. Thank you for staying on for so long, and I really appreciate the support. And if you if you're not already following, give me a follow, and stay tuned for more of my investigative reporting. And have a good night. God bless you all.
For hosting.
Cheers. God
All
bless.
right, thanks, Kim.